Savage. 21 Savage. The one and only. How it feel to be a real nigga, man. 21. The same nigga doubted me. Now they tryna hang around a nigga. I ain't got nothing but bullets for you, nigga. I feel like a bullet to you, nigga. I ain't counting number hundreds, nigga. Ain't number mud on my stomach, nigga. I kept it real with a lot of niggas. I ain't gotta deal with a lot of niggas. I ain't signed no deal like a lot of niggas. So they don't treat me like I'm poppin', nigga. I kept it trill without a trill, niggas. I get accepted by the real niggas. I was raised to be a real nigga. Every nigga around me like to kill niggas. Red bottoms on a real nigga. She tryna suck it through the hell figures. How it feel to be a real nigga. 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 Bronx niggas say I'm ill, nigga. All the pain had to let it go. Now it ain't no place I can't go. Watch me throwing through that bankroll. Ain't no ones in that bankroll. Ain't nothing but blues in this bitch, nigga. On Boulevard with the Crips, nigga. She got a ass, but her titties little. But I hope she brought her sister with her. Cause you know I got a gang with me. You know ain't a damn thing changed with me. Got them VVS's on me now. Got them VVS's on me now. Look at my watch, this shit done cost a house. You talking to a boss, bitch, watch your mouth. That boy came a long way, didn't he? Yeah, I came a long way, didn't he? That boy came a long way, didn't he? Now I'm ballin' all the way, penny. How it feel to be a real nigga. 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 How it feel to be a real nigga.
And truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Come on in, hit that like button. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get the show on the road. Call-in show Tuesday night call-in show. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to call in, earlier the better. Earlier the better. Earlier the better. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get the roll call going, and we can get this show on the road. Let me get that out the way. Who we got? Chris Riley, what up? ATL, what's going on? Talk with Walt, Asman, Roland, West Coast, what's going on? Rich Jew, what's going on? What's going on? St. Louis,
nigga.
Kelvin Birch, what's up? Kobe, what's going on? SD Walt, Cleveland in the building. St. Louis, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? William Sweet, Jacksonville, Kobe, what's going on? Michael Manuel, Brandon Williams, link pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to the MGM gang. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to the MGM gang. Superman, Clark Kent, what's going on? The Shy, what's going on?
The Chicago nigga.
Gold Logistics, what's going on? Velocious, what's going on? It's about to give moving a shot. Yes, I have moving experience, but I've been running from it. LOL. Yeah, you can't run from the money. You gotta run to the money. You gotta run to the money, man. COB Kennels, what's going on? What's going on? All right, link pinned to the top of the chat. Call in show. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. First come, first serve. We're gonna try to do well. We only want to do 2 hours. All right. I gotta get in. I gotta get out. Ah, 2 hours. In and out. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Also, the Discord. Let me see something. The Discord. Let me see. Do that right there. Let's see. For everybody that is in my DM that needs help here and there, it may be more beneficial for you to join the Discord, because some of the questions that you may have, you can get answered in the Discord from your peers. Some of these things that y'all be wanting to know in my Instagram and on my Facebook Messenger, you can ask your peers that. So I created a space that's 24 hours a day. Listen, it be people posting in the Discord at 3, 4 in the morning. All right. So it's people in there all the time networking, giving each other advice. We got private rooms, but more on the financial side. You got to be a part of the MGM gang to enter into those channels in the Discord. But as far as the box truck, the cargo van, your Amazon, your gig stuff, all the basic stuff, then we have culture channels in there too. But for all your box truck stuff, there may be people in the Discord that can help you and guide you. It's heavily moderated. We got over 50 moderators in there. It's not like a Facebook group. It's a Discord. You got to go through verification to get in, and there's a lot of information in there. A lot of networking has been going on in there, and it's growing. So if you want to be part of a network where you can always have a source of information, you can always have other like-minded individuals or individuals that may have more tenure than you for guidance. You can ask questions. You can, there's people in there that be up at 4 in the morning, you know, shooting video and uploading their loads at the 3PLs on the road, moving channel. It's all in there. All right. It's 24 hours a day. You ain't got to wait on me. It may be other people in there that can help you. So make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the chat. All right. Let's see who we got in the Bizac. You dig what I'm saying? What we got? Justin, what's going on?
What's up, Mark? What's good?
Chilling like a villain.
I heard that. I just had a quick question. I was passing out some flyers today around my town, and I got they wanted me to do a 2-man appliance delivery gig, appliance delivery, mattresses, and all of that. But I wanted to call in to get your opinion on the rate that they paying me or the rate that they offered me, so I can see, do I need to go in and negotiate more? Of course, always negotiate more, but just want to get your perspective on what's a good price to go in asking for.
What you said this is like a mom and a pop? I missed that part.
Nah, it's a 3PL. The dude was telling me they've been in business about 20 years, and they just expanded to my market, and they looking for some independent contractors. He said they need up to 3 trucks.
What's the name of the
Um,
company?
Waylanders.
Hmm.
That sound familiar?
So what did they offer you?
They offer me $700 a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 16 stops, delivering mattresses, appliances. I guess they got a contract with Costco's.
You need another guy.
Yeah. I have somebody to help me, but that's part of my question. I got a 2-part question. How much should I pay myself, and how
Wait, you said up to 16
much?
up to 16 stops for a guaranteed flat rate of 700.
Yeah.
And what's the mile radius? What market is this?
This is in Tallahassee, Florida.
And did they give you a radius? Is it like up to 150 miles?
Yeah, they said up to 150 miles max, but it won't be that every day. But I calculated my numbers as if it's 150 miles every day, just to be on the safe side. And so just wanted to see how you feel about that.
If it was straight mattresses, then I would say yeah. But if it's gonna be mattresses and appliances, I don't know. You
That's a
might
different
that's
story.
that. I mean, it all depends on your cost and how efficient you are. 15 stops to you and 15 stops to somebody else could be a different ball game. If it was straight mattresses, I would say yeah, go for it. 15 stops for mattresses ain't nothing.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, I feel you 100%, and that's
But
go ahead.
you own your truck, right?
Yeah,
What's you own it outright?
nah, I'm still paying on it still, of course, but
What's
my
what,
cost once I calculate
what's your note?
my note 1,500 a month, my insurance 1,200 a month.
So you paying 2,700 a month for uh your insurance and your
Sure, yeah.
your truck note. So and he said up to 16, so they giving you a guarantee of $700. Now after 16 stops, then what?
After 16 stops, I guess it would be a per stop pay. I had inquired
I
about
I
that. I
I
was like,
I
well,
would
what's the
I would
go ahead.
negotiate down. I would do up to 10 stops for 700, and then
Mm,
each additional stop more. Because the thing is you got to pay somebody. I mean, you gonna be on the truck, but you still got to pay somebody. So you figure you get your helper, let's say 200 a day.
that's what I
You
figured it
go
was
to
gonna have to be
150
that.
miles, that's $100 right there, right?
Yeah.
Plus you factoring in your insurance costs, which ain't gonna be much, and your truck note is you on a rolling 30 day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna be
Mhm.
like going OTR. Uh, so I would negotiate down. 16 stops for a flat rate of 700 is it's a lot of stops for $700.
Yeah, I was going
If it was mattresses, I would say all day long. That's nothing.
yeah,
But
and
you
that's
don't
that's
know.
kind
You
of what
might get a bunch
go
of
ahead. Right.
refrigerators one day. You might get a bunch of ranges and refrigerators. You might get some stackable washers and dryers and some refrigerators. So it's gonna fluctuate. You don't want to put yourself in a jam because some days is gonna be better than others, but you don't know what the freight gonna look like uh from day to day. You could have a day where there's no mattresses and all appliances and 16 stops for $700. To you, that may be a 14-hour day. Because you got to
Yeah, that's
factor
why
the
he was
time. You got to factor the time from when you get to the warehouse. When you get to the warehouse, you got to load. You might be there 2 hours. You might be
hmm
on your route 9 hours. And then if you 150 miles out, that's 2 hours driving back.
yeah, that's a long day.
So, so
And that's the thing, like when cause I had applied on Indeed, but then I seen the address, so I just physically went in there today, and they kind of let me scan around the warehouse, and he was saying that they got a lot of different, contracts for furniture, mattresses, and he said he offered me 700 a day, and I had told him that I got some experience with appliances because I did a dedicated route with Lowe's, and every now and then we had to do appliances, but I never did a full blown white glove. When I told him that, he was like, "Okay, that's fine. We could use you for the other deliveries. The other deliveries not so much appliance heavy, and we'll give you 700 a day." But he told me if I was to do appliances, I would get 800 a day.
but see, here's the thing: 700 a day with the appliances, you have to factor in those appliances are gonna need installs too. So if you get like a washer and a dryer, you're gonna have to do the install. You get a refrigerator, you're gonna have to do the install. You get a range, you're gonna have to connect it to the gas line. The gas line is capped. You might have we don't see you. You disappeared. Yo,
That
yo,
now. Yo, can you
yeah,
hear me?
you might have to do some one and
Can you hear me?
ones. Yeah, I hear you. You might have to do some one and
Yeah.
ones. So if you gotta do some one and ones,
What you
that
mean
means
by that?
you deliver in the refrigerator and you take in the refrigerator. You dropping one off and you picking one up. So for like those situations, you want to get compensated for that. So I mean, 700 is good, but I don't think 700 is good for 16 up to 16 stops. Because here's the thing: what's going to happen is if I'm the operations supervisor there, and I got a team that's tenured that I is running, they running, but they I'm paying them $1,000 because they knew how to negotiate a little bit better, and you running at 700 on a guarantee up to 16 stops. I'm gonna put as many stops on you as possible because I'm gonna get more for my money running with you. I don't care how long you're gonna be out there. That's your problem. You know what I'm saying? That's your problem. So you get appliance heavy, and then everything is delivery with install, and you got some one and ones. That's 700 for
Got
up
the
to
12
16
out. Yeah.
stops. Some days you might get 8, some days you might get 10, you might get 7. So it might be in your benefit, but when they go to scheduling, oh, buddy ass, he got a guarantee of 700. Man, make his route heavy. Then what you gonna do? Go back and complain? You agree
Nah,
to it.
sure.
So
Nah, I ain't agreed to none yet. That's why I'm
I
coming
I
here to get some perspective. I feel.
I wouldn't do if he came to me and he was straight mattresses and box springs, 700, 16 stops. Come on with it.
Okay.
Come on with it.
Okay.
That
Cause
ain't that's
based
nothing. Mattress box spring, that's nothing. 16 stops,
based
700
on
all day long. Be gone,
based
in and
on his
out.
verbiage,
Uh-huh.
I guess, based on his verbiage and what he was offering me, I think it's gonna be mattresses and like furniture delivery. So, how you feel about that? If it's the furniture too?
Still up to 16 stops?
Yeah, I mean, off gate, I'm gonna go ask him for 8. You know what I'm saying? I've already did my numbers for each and every scenario. If I take the 7, if I take the 750, or if I take the 8 a week, if I get the 8 what I truly want, and I'm profitable on all 3 of those levels, but I think that 750 at least got to get that, even if it is, you know what I'm saying,
Well,
furniture and mattresses.
you already know my minimum that I always tell people is 750 anyway.
Yeah,
So 700. Now it's wiggle room. Like if it's mattresses, that's just listen. I do IKEA 16 stops for 700. I can say that because I've done it. I know what it entails. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. That's a walk in the park. Mattresses is a walk in the park. 700. I'll see if I can get something out of it. But if it ain't no wiggle room, I take that. I'm not taking appliances for up to 16 stops for 700. I know I could go to a warehouse, throw the mattresses in the back of that truck, and I'll be back at the warehouse by noon. I'll be back at the warehouse time for lunch.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
So
saying?
so
But
so when I'm going in there to negotiate, one of my main points should be like, depending on the commodity y'all gonna load me up with, that's gonna depend on the pay that I'm
well,
looking to get.
if you
Like,
if you
what's the
doing
angle you think?
if you doing furniture, you can do about 750, 800 up to 16, because 16 divided by, let's say, 8, that's about what, $50 a stop. You know what I'm saying? So furniture, the most you're gonna have to deal with furniture, and that's if it's just dropping. If you gotta assemble some stuff, I'm not familiar with that furniture company. It sounds like a regional company. We don't have that company here, so I don't know what type of furniture they sell. I don't know if that what the distributor is. If they, if the furniture they carry is distributed through like Coaster or through like Ashley, things like that. If it's Coaster, then you're gonna be dealing with a lot of assembly work. If it's like
Yeah, I think
if
it
they
is
dealing
that.
with if they dealing with like something like Ashley, then most of that stuff is gonna come already together for the most part because it's more quality furniture. The most you may have to put on is like the knobs on the dresser and the chest. You may have to screw the legs in the bottom of a couch. You may have to have a drill like some of the couches have the legs where they got the deep hole where you got to have the long bit and get in there and actually screw the actual leg with an actual screw into the wood frame of the couch. That's the most you're gonna have to do. It all depends on the furniture company and who they get who distributes, who they purchase their furniture wholesale as far as the distributor. If it's Coaster, you could deliver chairs. The chair's gonna come in a box. Like you literally gonna have to build the chair from the back of the chair to the frame under the chair, putting the damn butt part in the back like a jigsaw. Like this is the back, actually putting the butt part in and then putting the screw and then putting the nut on the back under the chair and screwing that in and then putting the legs in and all that. You're gonna have to build it. So then that takes time, and then you want to get compensated from that, and then that becomes worth more than $50 a stop. So you need those are the things that you need to find out. It's a lot more than mattress, appliance, furniture. You need to find out who's distributing the furniture, so that way you know what the delivery and what the installer and the assembly is going to entail. Like when you're dealing with companies like Walter E. Smith, Ashley Furniture and shit, that shit is like real solid. That shit coming together. The most you putting on is you may have to screw the handles in the dresser, the screw the legs in. That's it. But like when you dealing with the cheaper, like presswood shit from Coaster and all that stuff, you literally putting it together from scratch. Like if you got to deliver a dining room table and it come with 6 chairs, the chairs coming in boxes. You got to put them chairs together. You know, so.
Okay. So what would you do if you was in my position to the point where you kind of don't know, you know what I mean? You really don't know what it
You
is. Of
gotta,
course, I'm still gonna try it out. Of course,
you
I ain't
gotta.
gonna let it walk.
Well, no,
But
you
go
ain't
ahead.
got. You gotta ask questions. What you mean you gonna try it out?
Okay.
What happened if it's
Nah, I
not worth
mean,
it?
I'm gonna walk. Like
We just
I'm at least gonna inquire.
didn't I just do a live stream about trying stuff out and jumping in without if you have the connection where you can talk to a person like you did today and ask questions, I'm giving you all the questions to ask. All you gotta do is ask. So you can help determine. It may be more beneficial for you. Listen, a guarantee is good. You know, I always ran on guarantees. I talked about it, right? But certain things, it may not be beneficial to run. If it was IKEA, yeah, you can run a guarantee with IKEA. You can run a guarantee with mattress because it's a box spring and a mattress. You know, you can bend the mattress, you can fold the mattress, you can shove the mattress. It's not gonna break, it's not gonna damage anything. It's bendable, so when you get into tight, awkward situations, you can just fold it and get it through. You get something, these people be ordering 93-inch couches and shit that don't even really fit, and they want something the size of a watermelon squeezed into something the size of a lemon, and then you got to sit there and play Tetris and figure shit out. And that you might be sitting there trying to figure something out for an hour. Or you may have to break a refrigerator down and take doors off. It might be a bi-level home where you got to get it in, take the doors off. It might be an LG refrigerator where it got the brains, the motherboard on the top, and then you got to know which wires to disconnect because you got to disconnect it from the computer. Like a lot of these new computers, the motherboard, them LG, got the motherboard at the top. You got to go up there, flip the cap off, make sure you take the right wires off so that you can disconnect it from the screen, take the water line out in order to get the door off. Then you may still have to take the doors off. That takes time. Then guess what? You got to put all this shit back together. So now you spending 30 minutes taking the shit off, 30 minutes strapping the shit up, maneuvering the shit up the stairs. Then you got to put everything back together. Then it might be a 1-in-1 where you got to remove you might have to take the old refrigerator out. And guess what? You might have to take the doors off of that.
Doors off. Yeah.
So,
So it seemed like I really should go. I mean, because they have a variety of bulk freight, so it seemed like I should go in trying to stay away from the appliances, or just ask for. Sound like just stay away from the appliances altogether.
I'm not saying stay away from the appliance. I'm saying make sure it's going to be worth your while.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See, here's the thing. You never dealt with this before, so you may incur. If you may make the money financially, you may just lose a lot of time at the beginning, right? Over time, you'll get quicker and you'll get faster. You'll get accustomed to seeing certain things. Me, I'm not taking that shit for $50 an hour, $50 a stop. I'm not. You know, you're in a different market. You know what I'm saying? You're in a different
Mm-hmm.
market. I'm not taking it for 50 a stop, right? Because I've been there, I've done that. I know what these stops entail. I'm not doing 16 stops of appliances for a guarantee of $700. You know why? Because I've had way lesser accounts with a guarantee of $600 and $700 doing just box delivery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta. Me personally, I would negotiate down on the amount of stops. I would probably go
Stops.
down to maybe 10 stops, maybe 10 to 12 stops. You know what I'm saying? And then each additional stop after that, negotiate a rate, right? And then if they send you a X amount of miles, then negotiate a rate on that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I would start with a minimum of 750, but not for 16 stops.
So a
So
minimum of 750, negotiated down. So focus on negotiating down the stops. Okay, and ask about the freight
for the
come out of it.
guarantee, I wouldn't do 16 stops for $700.
Okay, makes sense.
Not
Makes
not
sense.
me personally. Now, as far as the time, whatever you negotiate, you're not gonna be the fastest thing in the world. If you ain't never did moving a appliance or furniture delivery, it's gonna take time to be able to eyeball this stuff to know, you know, how to go about getting it in and getting it out
Mm-hmm.
the quickest and most efficient way. You know what I'm saying? So, what tools to use? Man, you know what? We ain't got to take the door off. You'll get to a point where you can just eyeball something, and it may seem like it's not gonna fit, but you can eyeball it, and we going straight through. We ain't got to take the doors off. That takes time. So you're gonna be slow at first, but
Mm-hmm.
over a period of time, you'll get faster. So even if you get 800, let's say, your days ain't gonna be uh boom bam thank you man. So just keep that
Yeah.
in mind. It don't mean that you losing,
Yeah. I
because then
mean,
what's gonna happen, you're gonna start looking at the guarantee, and then you're gonna start dividing it by the time, and you're gonna be like, oh man, this shit ain't worth it.
yeah.
But you gotta understand that you'll get faster over time when you start getting accustomed to seeing different types of apartments, different types of houses, and then start to see the same appliances and furniture items over it. You'll know how to take them off, what tool, what socket, what size socket right away. You ain't gotta figure shit out. You'll be able to eyeball shit. You know what? Them doors coming off. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. And you'll get faster. You'll get more efficient. So,
Okay.
know.
Okay. So yeah, that was great advice. I know I'm gonna think about that, write down the questions I want to ask them. And then number two, you were saying, um, because my budget for labor, I'm trying to stay at 1,600, and that was based on the
How many
700
days
a
a week?
day,
How many days a week is
five
the
days a week,
contract?
5 days, 5
You talking
days.
about paying your helper $1,600 a week?
No, no, no. I'm talking about total, me and him. Keep the total labor cost at 16. I was looking to pay him 8. I just reached out to one of my homies, and I told him 800 for a week, 10 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? But logically, I'm asking you, like, what do you think is a good price to keep a joker committed? You know what I mean? And
You
willing to
said
come to
eight
work and
eight
show up.
800 a week.
Yeah, but I can pay myself as low as 700 a week. You know what I'm saying?
So
Just
you gonna pay him?
because
So you gonna pay him what? 175? What's that? 175?
I think that 170. No, I think it's 160 a day for $800 a week. I'm willing to
160 a
go up as
day?
high as 9. Yeah.
I mean, if you can find somebody, shit. I mean, that's cash.
Very crazy.
I mean, if you can find somebody for 160 a day, I mean, yeah. You got to remember,
But
you
you
got to keep
saying,
you got to keep him too. You can
yeah, that's
find
what
him.
I'm
He
saying.
could
Yeah.
he could agree to it, but eventually he gonna come and do one or two things. You gonna quit, or two, he gonna ask you for more money. So you
So
gotta
you
make
think
sure
I
that
should,
you got margin in there, cushion in there, I should say, for raises.
yeah, if I pay him that 8 a week, I definitely got a cushion to push him up to 9. Then I would just pay myself 7 a week opposed to 8 a week. But I definitely want to keep it around 1,600 a week for the labor, but that's based upon them putting me at 700 a day. So even if they give me 750, that put me at
I'm not
3,800 a
taking.
week.
I'm not taking 700 a guarantee on 16 stops. You do
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
yeah. No,
Listen.
the 16. No. The
Listen.
rate, the rate. I'm
Do
talking about the
do
stop.
do what's in the best interest for you. I'm telling you what I wouldn't do. All right. If you feel like 700 for up to 16 stops is okay for you, then by all means. You know what I'm saying? But to me personally, you first of all, did you ask them does this include assembly and install?
Yeah, he said it. He said it does for the furniture.
Did you ask them is it removals too?
Then ask some of those removals.
All right, you need to find all this stuff out.
Okay, definitely. Okay, all right. But yeah, so okay, well, yeah. I mean, you pretty much gave me the insight that I needed, and I'll probably hit you up on the side once I get some more of that information. But I ain't gonna hold up the line. That's pretty much all I wanted.
So I would definitely either one or two. I would either talk them down on the stops if you do want to take the 700, talk them down, all right, or talk them up. I would at least start at a minimum 750.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and I would talk them down to probably 12 to 13 stops at that.
12. Okay, I feel like that's the key right there. Getting them stops now. At
You
16,
know,
kind of.
you may want to
OD.
take 16 stops at 750. To me, no.
Yeah. All right. Shoot.
Because you got
appreciate it, man.
it's a lot of shit you got to factor into that. It's people in the chat saying they would do it.
They
I'm
say,
not
"Oh,
doing
I can't even see it," but yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you was in my position, I've been in business a year. I mean, I have experience dispatching myself over the road, but it's just like if you was me a year in,
Based off your
would you?
numbers, you gonna make money from it. You just may lose a lot of time at the beginning. But that's what I'm telling
Yeah.
you. Here's what I'm telling you. Based on your numbers, it'll be profitable. See, the thing with Final Mile when you take a guarantee is you got to get in and you got to get out. The longer you take, that's when you feel like you losing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's where you feel like you losing. Listen, I know crews. I've had crews that can do 20 stops and be back by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But see, here's the thing. That crew, I put 3 guys on. You see what I'm saying? I put 3 guys on because I understood, listen, it's more important for me to get them in and out. And I'm willing, as a company, to take a smaller profit margin on certain routes. You see what I'm saying? Because now I got a guy that's on the truck. He prepping the truck. He getting everything ready. He pushing the shit to the front. When they come back out to get what's next, it's already right there. They bringing the garbage back out. He busting it down in the truck. We already got a speed pack or a big box that was already there. He breaking all the cardboard down, putting it in. He folding the blankets. He stays on the truck. He's getting everything to the end of the truck. He's taking care of the truck. They're running shit. Boom. When their last item come in, what got to be assembled? He already got the tools setting at the end of the truck for him. He already went in the toolbox and got them exactly what they need. So by the time they get done in the house and come back out, truck already set up. They ready to roll.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So time is important. You know what I'm saying? So you could do, let's say you did take the 700 for the 16 stops. The key is getting in and getting out. That's what I'm saying. The more you're in it, the more experience, the quicker you get. That's what I'm saying. Don't get discouraged. If you take 700, if you take 750, you take 800, because you will do what you will do, regardless. But at the beginning, it's going to feel like it ain't worth it. Even though you're making money, you're going to be looking at your time like, damn, I've been out here 16 hours. But you spent an hour and a half or 2 hours messing with this damn Nordic track because you never seen it before. Or trying to figure out how to get this couch up 3 flights of stairs. You ain't never did it before. So you had the open end going up against the wall when the open end of the couch should have been riding the banister. So when you hit them turns, you got the opening on the couch to go around. You don't know. You never did it. So those types of mistakes It's gonna be wasting your time when you getting something up a flight of stairs and then you realize you brought it up wrong. Now you got to take it all the way back down, spin it around, and then go back up again. All the stuff that those rookie mistakes, that learning curve that I talk about, it's not gonna cost you per se financially unless you damage it. But what it's gonna cost you is time. But you'll start to see your time, shrink as you get familiar with seeing the stuff over and over and over and over again, and then different settings of delivery, apartment buildings, houses, different types of houses, Georgians, bi-levels, ranch style homes, bungalows. Each style home is different. Ranches are easier than bi-levels or Georgians or bungalows because literally it's flat. You just walk right in. They may have a patio, a sliding door. You could just go right in. You're not really dealing with no stairs. You may run across situations where it's an elevator building and it may be an old style elevator and the sofa is too tall. You may have to carry it up. Like we've had to take sofas up 50, 60 flights of stairs before. Then what do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation? Do you do it? I'm asking you, what would you do? What would you do if you got to if you got to an apartment? If you got an apartment building, it's an older apartment building. It's an elevator that's older. It was built, let's say, 70 years ago, and it wasn't designed for the type of furniture that's out now, and the sofa don't fit. And they live in a high rise on the 50th floor. What do you do?
If it's a moving situation,
either way, moving or find them out. What do you do?
I mean, to be honest, I want to say call the operation manager and explain the situation, but at the same breath, I feel like
okay,
to.
That's the first thing you should do with if it's find them out, and then what? What if they be like, oh well, but what are you calling the operation manager for?
Just explain to them that they live on the 50th floor in an older building and the equipment elevator is not gonna fit the furniture, so we can't make the delivery. What do you advise? That's what I would word it like that.
What if they be like, all
right,
well,
advise we do.
So all right, well, do they got any stairs?
Yeah, 50 flights though.
All right, we'll take it up the stairs. We'll call the next customer and tell them you're gonna be late.
Okay, is it gonna be an additional? Are you gonna compensate us for going up 50 flight of stairs?
Well, what do you want? Tell us what you want, and I'll run it past operations.
See,
I'll run it past the branch man. This is what you're gonna deal with when you dealing with those those contracts.
And I'm sitting here talking good, but I don't even know, what I'm saying, what to charge for the flight, the stairs. So you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a learning curve, how you say. I definitely know it.
So for a 3PL, now they not gonna pay you to do it. So you basically have to refuse. You basically will just refuse that one. For moving, you charge the company, you charge the customer more.
Yeah.
The first 3 flights are usually, it's a part of, the deal, but anything additional, they got to pay. Like, we've charged people $20, $25 a flight before.
Okay.
It's back in the day when I first got started, you used to could put furniture on top. So the building engineer, they'll drop the elevator down, and you can put the furniture on top of the elevator, and then they'll just slowly take the elevator up to that floor, and then they'll stop it like right before that floor, so you could just pull it off. This is back in the day. We used to could get away with shit like that, but most buildings don't allow that anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, just talk to them, see what else these stops entail, and definitely try to negotiate one way or another, either more money or less stops. I think you can get more than $700 out of them. You told them you were new? I think you said you told them you were new. You had only been in business a year.
Huh? Well, yeah. If that's considered new, being in business a year, then yeah, I would be considered New.
Yeah, you talking.
I
You
told him
talk.
I've been in business for a year.
Yeah, you talk too much.
Too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop telling people all your business. Let them do their work. They like the police. Let them do their job. Because if you come
Right.
tell me you only been in business for a year, yeah, I'm gonna try to get the most out of you too. You don't know no better.
Yeah.
You got to go in there and sell yourself like like you've been around the block.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have never told him the experience part, but I definitely came in there with a resume, flyer, website, and then they looked at the website and that pretty much locked it in. But I'm definitely gonna negotiate that rate and them stocks because I see what you're saying now. Like one or two stocks could be difficult, and
It's it's
could really
it's not
kill the
about
day.
it's not about dude, listen, with moving and final mile, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Right? So you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that you're gonna have days where you're just gonna run into those stops. It's just gonna happen. But you want to make sure that you win more than you. The only way you're gonna lose is financially, based on what you told me as far as your cost, is if you get claims. Financially, you're not gonna lose. What you're gonna lose is time. But time equals
Mm-hmm.
money. And like I said earlier, what happens is if you start spending a lot of time out there, you're gonna be like, damn, man, we out 16 hours, man. Man, once you divide that times this, man, that's only X amount of hours. So you gotta make yourself efficient. You gotta get in, you gotta get out. Like you need to, like y'all need to be work really, really together. Like, man,
Yeah.
like y'all gotta have a system so as soon as you pull up, you already got a person who already know he probably gonna walk in with the clipboard. You gotta train him how to do the walkthrough. Make sure that the path is clear. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they sign that waiver. Boom, come back out. Go get your runners, right? He doing that. You on the back of the truck. You pulling the shit. He done prepped everything. Now y'all got to roll. What, man? We got to take 2 doors off. Boom. All right, wop. You get the flathead and the hammer. Go snatch the doors out. That shouldn't take you nothing but 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Put the door to the side. Strap up. You in the gym, you hitting them squats. You bend your knees. You hit them
I'm in the
squats
gym.
with them. All right, well then you put them shoulder straps on. You bend them knees. Keep your
Yes,
back
sir.
straight. Keep your back straight.
I need all of that. All the advice I can get.
Yeah, just go ask some more questions and just negotiate, man. Make sure you get the best. Make sure you get the best bang for your buck.
All right, I'll definitely do that, and I'll definitely get back with you. I'll say something in the Discord. But yeah, I just want to tell you, thank you for making that Discord. That was a real good move. I feel like just for everybody to share experiences. So that was tough.
So it's all good. Kobe saying nobody going 50 flights. You a lie. Don't let me go back and find some of these old invoices. Let me explain something to you. If I charge a customer to go up them flights, we give them the first 3 flights free, right? Each additional flight after that might be $20, $25, $30, whatever. Let's say we've had customers that said take it back. We've had customers that said leave it by the dumpster, and we've had customers that say, all right, do it. And guess what? If it's 2 guys or it's 3 men on the team, and we charge them $5, $20 a flight, guess what? Hey, y'all gonna run this up 50 flights. Y'all, figure out how y'all gonna take turns. Each flight y'all go up, it's an additional $5 for y'all. The company make 5. So if it's 3 guys on the truck, that's 15 to them. The company make 5. And they still on the clock. We still charging them hourly. Let me explain something to you. Listen, everything has a price. Oh yeah, moving, going up, yeah, all day. Final mile, nah, because the company not gonna pay that. The company ain't gonna pay it. It's just gonna be a refusal. 50 flights, it won't fit. You take your pictures, you do what you do, and on to the next stop. But moving, hey man, listen, what you want to do? You want us to? It's gonna be $20 a flight, Or what you want? What do you want? You want to just leave it down here by the dock, or how do you want to do it? It's just the last item. What you want to do? Some people pay, some people don't. But it happens all the time. You'll move somebody out of one place, and you'll move them into another place where they're downsizing or something like that. Or I know here we got a lot of buildings that were built in the early 1900s. Some of these old downtown buildings, they got the old freight elevator where you gotta close the thing like that and then pull the gate down and then crank the wheel. And the units have been refurbished, but that old elevator system is still intact. And it's kind of some of those buildings have what they call historical whatever it is, where they can't modify it. So customer paying, we gonna run it. Listen, everything got a price, man. Everything got a price. But you probably won't run into nothing like that down in Florida.
Yeah, Tallahassee is it's a little smaller. We ain't got many high rises like that per se. But yeah, and something else I want to pick your mind about while I got you on the line. Prior to me, like, this is all fresh. They just offered me this today. I just went in and talked to them today, so all this is new. But previous to this, just listen to what y'all been saying about moving. I created a moving flyer with some prices on it, and I kind of want to see what you think about. I mean, I pretty much already know what you talk about moving extensively a lot, but for somebody that's on the new, I've done 2 moving jobs but no full bedrooms. What you think is a good rate to charge for 2 men and 1 truck? On my flyer,
Wait,
I got it
you
at
you you was you was
$90 an
break
hour,
you was
and the
breaking up
truck
for a
fee is
minute.
$90.
You broke up for a little minute. Say what you before you
Yeah, I
started
was
talking
I
about.
was saying, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying prior to me running into this contract today, I was planting the seeds to transition into moving, getting my flyers out there or whatever. So I had created a flyer, or I'm in the process of getting it created. I just sent all the information to my person to make it, and the rates that I had on there were $90 an hour for 2 men and 1 truck, a
I did a live
$90
stream.
truck fee,
I did a live
and
stream on
just
this.
wanted to
Listen,
see.
listen.
Yeah,
I talked about this
yeah,
earlier this year. I did a whole live stream about it. I said never put the price. First of all, you doing a print flyer?
yeah.
I did a whole live stream about it. I said it's a waste of money.
So shit.
Hello? Yeah, your phone breaking up. You gotta sit still or go back to where you was at before. You driving? Are
Yeah,
you
I'm about to
driving?
pull over though. I'm gonna get this. Go ahead and get this knocked out and pull over. Yeah,
I did a live stream about this
just
earlier
give me a
this
second. I'm
year.
about to pull over though. Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, you
And I
did.
and I
Ain't even
and
no
I, and I
point in me
said
asking because I
and
didn't
I
seen it
said
and all.
I,
You
I
saying compare
said
the prices in the market?
I said don't print flyers. It's a waste of money now because you could do all your advertising digitally, and it can be direct marketing, right? 2, never put your prices,
When I
especially
say
if you print.
flyer
Hold on, and never put
on
your
the flyer,
prices
yeah.
because if you change your prices, then all them flyers it's a waste of money.
So yeah,
You know how I
yeah.
know? Because I did
Okay.
that the first. This is back when print flyers were still in. You're talking about 2011 or something. I printed up a bunch of flyers at, I think it was 75 an hour. And then I went to 85 an hour. So then none of those flyers were no good no more.
Yeah.
I still got about 5,000 of those flyers. I swear for God.
I feel you for sure. You're right. Yeah, virtual flyer for sure. And I'm definitely not gonna put them prices on there. I have to let her know. So
Now, with a digital flyer, you can do it because it ain't nothing but a quick little edit.
yeah, okay.
You
But
already got the
do you
file.
think
You
that's
just go
smart
back in and. I mean, here's the
to
thing.
put the prices on there?
I don't think putting the prices on there is
Yeah,
good. Like
okay.
if you advertising like on Thumbtack or something like that, then yeah, because you competing. You know what I'm saying? You do a generic flyer to wheel people in, and then you kind of sell them. For the last maybe 6 or 7 years, I didn't even do any campaigning.
Mm, okay.
You know, but that's
Okay.
because we had a really big uh repeat and repeat and referral a lot of our customers were referrals, and we had people that we move every single year. So once you got so many years in, you build up your clientele. And the thing with moving is once they find a mover that they like, they stick with them. Me
Okay.
personally,
Okay.
I would do a maybe a Facebook campaign, Instagram. Not even I wouldn't even spend that much money on it. I would do a small print campaign, but I would only target those print flyers to storage facilities. I wouldn't even waste my time. See, here's the thing,
Mm,
because you spending money on flyers for people who one ain't gonna look at it, two gonna toss it. You know what I'm saying? Majority of those flyers are gonna go to waste. So I would do maybe 250 flyers, whatever the minimum you could get, 250. Find a place that'll do you 250, and I would just put those at storage facilities. You know why? Because the people that are coming there are either coming in there to inquire about moving in or they're moving out, and they always ask the property manager, "Hey, do y'all work with some movers?" And then you let the property manager know, "Listen, every person you refer me to, I'm gonna kick you $50."
mm-hmm.
That way, those
Okay.
flyers and those business cards are going directly to a consumer who is interested in moving, so it's not going to waste.
Got you. So how you feel about passing it to uh passing out to the like condos, not necessarily condos, but like students,
So
college
and
students,
so
where the college
waste
students
of
stay at.
what
In
college
that
students
complex.
what college students that they read anything.
Now I'm talking about pass to the
See, you ain't old enough.
like
See, back in the day, you would go to a college party and you would come out and it'll be 50 flyers stuck into your windshield, your driver's window, or under your wiper. You don't see that shit no more. Ain't nobody passing out flyers no more. What do you see college students doing most of the day?
on their phone, on
All right
Facebook,
then. So
Instagram, like
you
you just
do a
said.
you do a Facebook campaign where it's going to be a direct target. Because guess what? The moment anybody in that those zip codes that you use or those areas that you use, if they type anything associated to moving, Facebook is going to start showing them ads pertaining to
Okay.
moving. So it's direct marketing. They're not going to show those ads to people who's searching Cadillac Escalade. If a person put a Cadillac Escalade in their Google search and they hear them on the phone, yeah, I need to go ahead and test drive that Escalade, they're not going to show them a Justin moving ad.
Yeah.
If a person is searching boxes, moving boxes, moving tape, they see them searching for apartments, moving companies, they'll distribute your ad to those people because you're going to put those keywords in. Only show my ad to people with these keywords who've been searching these keywords.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. For sure then.
Yeah, you
That
gotta
makes sense.
make
Gotta
your
be
money.
efficient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not, flyers, man. I ain't you what man. I ain't looked at a flyer in probably 10 years. I wish I would come
Yeah.
out somewhere and somebody got a flyer. Somebody I come out and it's a flyer on my shit. You know what I do? This is what I do. As soon as I walk up, if they stick it in the driver's window, don't you know how they stick it in the driveway? This is what I do when I walk up to the car. Get this shit out of here. Get this shit out of here, bro. I don't even look at it. It could be a missing. It could be somebody I know missing. I would never know because I don't even give it a chance. As soon as I see what the hell is this shit stuck in as soon as I walk up, that shit stuck in the window. Toss that shit, bro. Waste no time. Toss that shit. Litter like a motherfucker.
Nah, you right though. I be seeing them shits in the
Looking at
parking
that
lot all
shit,
the
bro.
time. Yeah, yeah,
Man,
for
shit.
sure.
This ain't 1999. 1999, you go come out the spot, you got 30 flyers stuck in your driver's window, and there's 10 more flyers under you. You know what you do? You take the ones under your windshield, you take the ones out your you keep them. You know why? Because next Saturday, let me go through some of these flyers. Okay. Oh, you and your hall cracking? All right, boom, boom. You kept your flyers because there wasn't no such thing as what we talking about now. You kept your flyers. You didn't toss them. You kept them. But nowadays, man, get this shit out of here, bro. This is what I'm gonna do with your money. If I see if you put your flyer and you stick it under my windshield wiper, I'm tossing your shit. I'm not even gonna give it a chance. Your money gonna be on the ground.
Yeah. So virtual flyer, and if I do physical flyers, storage companies, and that's it. So not even like apartment complexes, just the storage
Bro,
companies.
man, I check. I don't never check my mailbox. You know why? Because everything on auto pay. I went down there and
Yeah.
checked my mailbox because I had an Amazon. I said, let me go in my mailbox. I pulled out a stack of mail like that. And all these mailers and flyers, pizza places and shit. I didn't look at that shit. I tossed all that shit. My damn property taxes, my property taxes is probably in there. Man, I'm not looking at all that shit for what?
Virtual. Okay.
My bills come out automatically. I'm not looking at that shit. You can do mailers, but who's looking at that shit? They tossing that shit. That's why they keep, in my building, they keep like a little waste paper basket right by the mailboxes in the mailroom. You know why? Because a lot of people go through their mail right there, and all the mailers, they'll just toss them right there. It's 2024, bro. People ain't,
You right.
like, ain't no phone books. Like, people ain't doing like physical phone books and mailers and flyers. People not doing that. No, it's a waste of money, bro.
I got you. I gotta focus.
When you
Yeah.
you can create an ad campaign on Facebook. It'll go to Facebook. It'll go to Instagram. And what's the other one they got that go against Twitter? What is it called? Tweet, or what's that shit called that Facebook got? It's like Twitter. There you go.
Threads. Yeah.
So you set up an ad campaign on Facebook. You put all your parameters in, your keywords and things like that, the area you want to target, and it's only going to show those ads. And you set a budget. You can set a daily budget or whatever, and it's only going to show ads to people that have searched those keywords. So it's more likely, more of a possibility you may get some sales that way, instead of it you just doing moving ads and then showing it 1,000 impressions a day, and majority of those impressions are the people who ain't even moving. It might be showing them impressions to kids who live at home with their mama. You see what I'm saying? So you put the you target your audience, and yeah, man.
For sure. Okay. Got some things to work on for sure. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, that makes sense. Way more sense.
Yeah, man. But if you're gonna do moving though, you need to. I don't know what Florida is. You need to be careful though. I would, be careful. I would definitely build a website for it. And if you're gonna do it, just have a plan. Just make sure if you continue to do it, you get a license. Because if it's anything like here and they catch you, not gonna be pretty.
All right, for sure. But yeah, so we'll definitely see. I'm gonna get back with you, whether you have another call in show, fairly soon, or I hit you up in the Discord or something like that. But I'm gonna ask the dude them questions. I'm gonna get back with you.
All right, bet.
Yeah, appreciate you, big dog.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's one down. What time is it? It's 8:26 already? God dang. Time be flying, boy, I swear. All right, link pin to the top of the chat. Let's see if we can get another one in here. Link pin to the top of the chat. Yeah, I didn't recommend Google Ads to him. Google Ads is expensive. Depending on the market, man, I remember I ran some Google ad campaigns for my moving company, man. I remember at some points, depending on the bids that were going on, especially during moving season, I remember paying up to $50 a click. So it all depends, because it's a bid thing with Google, So I remember $50 a click at one point. The impressions is the impressions, but when somebody click, that's when they charge you. So all right, link is pinned to the top of the chat. Let me go through these comments. Shout out to Costas. Costas, where you been at, man? You been real quiet. I know you ran real hard last month. Chicago looks for those and then sends a ticket to the company for littering. Yeah, no joke. So yeah, man, our mayor, I don't know what he got going on, man. They've been ticketing everybody. I heard ordinances, all type of ordinance tickets. I guess they trying to make as much money as possible to help fund this whole migrant situation. They trying to find money everywhere they can. So Kadu said, man, I'm late to the call and been waiting for this. You've been waiting to call in? Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Pippi says she don't touch flyers on windshield. I jump in the car and turn on the wipers. But nah, you don't want them to. Well, I don't know. I usually take them out. Andrew Green said street team. I used to be on the street team back in the day. 98, 99, 2000, 2001. I was on the second best street team in the country. Back then, the number one street team back then was the Bad Boy Street Team. Wasn't no street team better than the Bad Boy Street Team. The New York chapter, which was also served as the national chapter, as hands down, number one street team. And then came us. So I was on the Def Jam street team. So, but the New York chapter and the national chapter for Bad Boy Street Team in the 90s. Man, I remember who came to town. I think it was Black Rob. Was it Black Rob? What was that tour? Was that the No Way Out tour? When that tour came to town, the Bad Boy Street Team, listen, the Bad Boy Street Team, we had our own bus. We had two buses. We had the street team bus and we had the media bus. Both buses were rap. I got to find the pictures because they was rap with the Def Jam 2000. That was what we were marketing at right around that time. And I remember promoting the backstage mixtape. I remember promoting the Method Man and Redman album. I remember I worked on the Vinny Vetti Vecchi project, Ja Rule's first album. I worked on the Method Man and Redman album, the Def Jam 2000 album. I worked on the Violator album. I did a lot of promotions back during that time period when I was in college. But man, I remember when the Bad Boy Street Team came, and this is what they did with their flyers. Listen, they would pull up with the bus. A street team would get off. They would march down the street chanting "Bad Boy, Bad Boy." They would have people with boxes of flyers, and they wouldn't hand nobody the flyers. So they would just take flyers and toss them up in the air like that. Toss them. So when you come out of the club, the flyers would be all over the ground. And it was like, it was almost kind of like art. But to me, I'm like, damn, Bad Boy just throwing money. They ain't handing the flyers out. They just literally throwing them up in the air. I had never seen shit like that before. I'm like, damn, they just tossing the flyers. Like the whole street, the parking lot, this shit was just all on the ground. And everywhere they went, the whole time they was here, those 2 days for that No Way Out tour, all the clubs. But because I used to have to snipe the poles. Sniping the poles was like back in the day, you had these big poster boards and you would staple one poster board to the other, wrap it around the pole, staple the other end, push it up, and then you would do so we'll snipe a whole pole. So it was my job to make sure I got to the poles and snipe it before the Bad Boy Street Team because that was the national street team because they was on tour with the No Way Out tour. I hit some clubs they had already beat me to, and then when I circled back to the clubs that I had already sniped, they took my shit down. They was ruthless. So, yeah, I definitely remember those street team days. I got a chance to do that during my college years. It didn't pay nothing. You didn't get paid. You just got free. Obviously, you got all the free merchandise. You got all the free wax. So I was able to get in clubs for free because I used to have to service the DJs, records, all the free CDs, tapes, um, the the um, the gear. You know, I got a leather varsity Def Jam jacket. I had a winter Def Jam jacket, and that shit was cool, man. So I remember those street team days. I remember those street team days. Um, Let me see. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. You said you had a situation like that in Brooklyn apartments. When it passed 20 flights, I charged whatever. Fact. I'm not even going. Listen, after the third flight, charge. 20 flights, third flight. After the third flight, you get the first 3 flights as a courtesy. After the third flight, it's a wrap. Gotta pay. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Pippi said a 3-step porch is pushing it, in her opinion. A 3-step porch is a piece of cake. That's a piece of cake. Especially here, like every market is different. You in Texas. Here, we got a lot of like we don't really have many ranch style homes here. You got a lot of bungalows here. Some areas may have Georgians, those may have 2 or 3 steps. You know, some areas may have some ranches, but Chicago is bungalow heavy, you know, as far as houses. And then apartment buildings, depending on the side of town, you got on the west side, you got a lot of 2-story homes, a lot of 2-story apartment buildings. You got some 3-story apartment buildings. Up north, you got some full gut rehabs and some full tear downs and new construction where they're building 4-story apartment buildings with a garden unit. And then let's say the 4th floor will be a duplex. So if you moving somebody up 4 flights of stairs and then that person who lives on the 4th floor and they got a duplex, then the bedroom is usually on the lofted floor. So then that's like 5 flights. So LaDonna White says, how do I get contracts with furniture stores? Apply. I got a profile on majority, if not all, 3PLs that do final mile, but it's in the old content. You got to go back like 2 years. All right, link pinned to the top of the chat all the time. I'm not too sure. Them boys load the truck up to the door with stops too, so you know it's more than 5 installs, like 18 to 20 stops a day. Yeah, and JB Hunt has the Home Depot or Lowe's contract. I'm not too sure. Them boys load the truck up to the door with stops too, so you know it's like 5 installs. If it's 18 to 20 stops, it's probably more than 5 installs. Cool, didn't know if it went through. Not trying to spam. You hit the link? No, you didn't, because I didn't get the call. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Call in. If you're trying to call in, the link is see that link that's pinned to the top? You click it, you follow the instructions. It's probably going to ask you to put your name in. You put your name in, you hit join, and then it'll ring on my side, and then I'll pull you up. There's nothing came through on my side yet, so let's see. I'll wait for you. Pibby said, can some of the moderators drop the link to the Discord from time to time in the chat? You know what's a good contract to get that a lot of people scared of? Fitness equipment. Fitness equipment contract pay good, but a lot of people scared of that. I had that Nordic Track contract. Like, you want to make you some good money. Nordic Track charges 400. Well, they were when we were doing it. They charged the customer $450 for the delivery plus assembly. So imagine what you're getting out of that for each stop. So, but you gotta be able to, you gotta lift that. Most of that shit going down in the basement. So, yo,
Yo,
how
can
you
you hear me?
doing? Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm doing cargo van OTR mostly, and I have my bad. What's going on with the camera? All right, my bad. Cargo van, we have a final mile contract. We trying to do box truck, but it's just getting everything together. So I'm gonna let you know right off the top, we definitely didn't do the starting right, but we doing pretty good, like covering cost per mile, and we're just going through everything else, trying to get stuff set up, right?
What you mean you didn't do the starting right? What you
Oh,
do wrong?
because we came into the industry just pretty much like everybody else with the hype, like, hey, let's go and grab a cargo van, do some gig apps, and you'll be good, kind of thing. So
Oh, okay.
by we, I'm doing this with my wife. Got a long
Oh,
story
okay.
behind that, but I'm not trying to take everything up with that. The whole point is
I got
we got
time. Let's kick
okay.
it. Let's kick it, man. Let's
All
kick
right.
it.
All right.
Yeah. Let's
So
kick it.
I'm one of the I got a degree. I was doing nice in life, and then somehow you got fired. So
What you mean?
uh, I got a degree, got a master's data analytics, and I was in Oregon doing nice. Got my 80, kicking up, 85. Probably get some other things, and ended up getting terminated from that position. It wasn't anything like malicious or anything. They didn't even really give me a good reason. But we lost that position, and then from there it was just like, all right, what's the next one? So we ended up going down to the Michigan area because I knew like there were some good opportunities with real estate, and our idea was just go ahead, get a job, get the same amount of pay, get some real estate, and start doing that whole thing. And through the process, ended up being shift manager at Wendy's, which allowed me to get the cargo van because of the income that I had. And then we started doing some gig apps, started looking into that. I was like, yeah, this ain't working. And then we ended up looking at, okay, you can do OTR. So we ended up hitting that up. And we've been doing fairly well with that one for the past year. That's the short version of everything.
You
I
said you
didn't
got
know
a
you was
master.
interested.
You got a master's degree in what?
Data analytics. It's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole separate thing on what you spend time in school doing and what you end up doing. But I have my reasons. It's still like helping, like managing out the numbers and stuff like that,
So
keeping operations going.
you left Oregon and moved to Michigan.
Yeah, there's no way I was about to cover anything covered, with Oregon costs. Trying to, at the time it was
What part
real
of
estate was
Oregon?
a better option. Portland
Portland.
area. Portland area.
How old are you?
34. I'll be 35 by the end of this month.
When did you get the cargo van? When did y'all get into the industry?
It was, I think, I keep saying 2 years, but apparently it's only been a year. So it was literally like
23.
last year sometime. Yeah.
So now you're in Michigan. What part of Michigan?
Detroit metro area. We've been, yeah, it's just like the Detroit metro area.
Okay. So you saying you're doing good, right? You making money with the cargo van?
We aren't drowning. I wouldn't say that it's like, oh my gosh, you make
Wait.
it, you made it, and anything like that. But
So y'all doing expedited, right?
yeah, the main thing that we've been doing is expedite.
I'm not a fan of expediting. I don't really see the
Yeah,
purpose of it.
I've heard it. I've heard it. So I'm saying
I,
like
what are you running for?
with
Like
anything.
40 cents a mile or 50 cents a mile or something crazy like that?
No, we average out like the way we have things budgeted. Like we've never been going like an average below 75. Depending, like we've had some places where we gotten stuck and like the numbers will look a little like end up being a little lower, but the way that, and I'm looking at this little spreadsheet that I have, the way that we have things placed out is like between, actually it's more based on the revenue that we end up getting, because the if we're not hitting our target, which we got calculated out like per day or per load, like when we take it and deliver it and make our revenue, then it's not getting taken. So as you were talking about, like there's some people who out there who can have super low cost per mile. Like I can go in here, put in some numbers, and like based on how quickly we get there and how many days it takes us to get there, like I might be your boy saying it's 70 cents and I'm good and I'm gone. We've had a couple like out of Cali, I think Washington even, that ended up being like below 70, but we still were able to cut our costs on it and it wasn't, too terrible for us. So
What's your cost per mile?
I knew
You
you
don't
was
know
gonna
it.
ask. I don't
You
have.
don't
I
know
do
it.
have it. I do have it.
You don't know it in
Um,
by heart. You should
by
have did. You don't do how often do you do your cost per mile?
how often do I do it?
Yeah.
I just did it like last month in
So you've
terms of
been
like
running.
just the
So
budget.
so so you've been running all month. You've been pulling loads all month, right?
Last month, yeah.
You ran your cost per. You did your CPM last month in June, right? What, the beginning of June?
So I have all the costs, like all the
No,
consistent costs and everything.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
When is the last time you did your cost per mile?
I just updated everything like last month.
Okay, and you've been running since you updated everything, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking for loads,
hmm
you consider your cost per mile, right?
Yeah. So what I was
So
telling you before. Go
so I'm
ahead.
trying to figure out how you don't know it.
So when I'm gonna just tell you, when you came on and you were like, "Hey, nobody knows their cost per mile," I went through.
Because you don't know yours.
I do 65.
You had to
65
look
cents per
for it.
mile.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. If you're constantly looking for loads, you're looking for loads based on your cost per mile, your operational
Yeah.
cost. How can you look for something without knowing what it costs you to operate? So if you're constantly looking for loads, then this should be engraved in your mind. All right, let me go look for loads. My
Yeah.
cost per mile is 65 cents, so I need to be looking at
So
stuff that.
I'm a.
How you don't know
I
it?
guess. I guess I'm gonna say I'm not really slow, but I'm gonna just say I'm a little slower, right? So I need stuff that actually shows it to me while I'm doing it. So what I've done, like I just make we have a data analyst. I complicate things. So I'll put in a drive mile, like I'll calculate out drive miles, how many miles I need to go out, and whatever we're gonna bid out, and then everything else kind of comes in. So it takes into account that cost per mile. So if you ask me like off the top of my head, it's like, okay, let me look it up, because I had the variables there. And I know I calculated everything based on an average of 75, and if I could make that work. So if it's
So
75 cents a mile on everything I had, go ahead.
so your cost per mile is 65 cents,
Yes.
and you averaging 75 cents. You taking shit for 75 cents a mile.
If it works for that situation, I'll do it. If it
So you
doesn't, I'm
making
not.
so you making 10 cents a mile?
Probably.
What
I said
do you mean probably? Is that what you making?
because not every load is the same. So for me to
I
say
hear
I'm
what you-
making 10 a mile, yeah.
On average, you making 10 cents a mile.
If you want to average it out, that's what it should be, yeah. If I go and look at what everything's been, like, because last month was like 1,100, so we were going
$1,100
over.
or 1,100 miles.
11,000. Sorry, I said 1,100. That's stupid. Yeah, 11,000. Here.
You grossed
So
11,000 last month.
Yeah, just a little over. So the average income that I made that's not average. It's 35 cents per mile.
3,500.
35 cents per mile after I take out fuel. So I still need to take out.
Hold on, bro.
So 35, take out fuel. 24. So that was 11.
What
11
I'm
cents per
confused.
mile is average income.
Is what you make.
Yeah, that's just extra after we cover the expenses.
So that's what you're earning, 11 cents per mile. That's what you're
Yeah,
netting. Is what you're telling me.
after we take out everything, and we do have included like our own living costs in there, because I know you had, because when you were doing your costs and I was trying to pay attention to make sure I had this linked up right, you only did like fixed and variable, and then someone was talking about their living expenses. You're like, yeah, that didn't belong in there or something. So it's not included in the fixed or variable, but I just added it as another percentage, which is still calculated in. And that's like 21 cents per mile to give us what we want. All calculated
Yo,
in that
yo, yo,
65.
your cost for living gotta be real minimal, bro. Like y'all gotta be living like minimal. If you telling me you're running and you're netting, I'm just going by what you telling me.
Okay.
I really didn't understand half the stuff you said because you talking, But let's go with what you say. 11 cents a mile, average 70 miles an hour. Right. Making like
55.
oh, so like 50 so like $5 an hour is what y'all profited?
I don't know what that per. Well,
I'm going off what
yeah, I
you're
don't have a
telling
per
me.
hour.
I'm breaking it down for you. I'm just going off with what you're telling me, bro.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the quick math, I'm not the quick math guy. Like I'm gonna get cooked on every last one.
That's probably why you're not. That's probably why it's not working out for you.
It's going fine. It's not, because the thing about it, like even with doing okay, it's not something that either of us thoroughly enjoy. It's not we're like, oh yeah, we get to go and do it. So
let me ask you this: what kind of van you got?
it's a ProMaster. It's a 136 wheelbase, 2500.
All right. What year?
2020.
What do you pay on it a month?
550. It's actually a little less. I round up.
What's your insurance a month?
With everything that we have, the insurance, with us doing Final Mile 2, is I think it's a little around 14 because we paid some of our policies out. I average it up.
$1,400 a month?
The average bill comes out, our bill comes out is like $10.50, but because we did some Final Mile stuff, we had some other things kick up. And Michigan apparently is like really crazy with insurance.
Okay. Well,
So,
not really, because I have a subscriber who he has a cargo van, T250, and he was at 1,800, and I took him to my broker, and now he's at 898.
okay.
So what I'm asking you is, you're paying $1,400 a month for insurance in your van.
So right now, if you look at my bill, it's going to say like 1060 or 1050, 1040, somewhere around there, right? Mm-hmm. And then we bought up some policies like what was it, workers' comp insurance, that ended up doing that because we have a middle mile or final mile contract, that we were doing. And then there was
did they require that?
Some other things.
Did they require
for the final mile? Yeah,
yeah.
For the final mile, we were talking to them about it, and like, well, you can do a waiver, but because.
So are you still doing that contract? Are you still doing that contract?
We still have it, but it's a little much to do with my wife on the final mile. So
is it a dedicated contract?
Dedicated, no. It's more.
So when do you do it?
We're not currently doing anything. We're trying to see if we can get someone hired to do that piece of it. So
you got one van, right?
We have one cargo van. It's a box truck contract. So we rented a box truck for a bit and tried it out. We did that, and running the cost on that one is like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this without owning a box truck.
So you got a contract that you're not running, but you got the insurance for the contract and the workers' comp for a contract that you are not running because it's a box truck contract, but you have a cargo van, but you're paying the cost as if you were running it. Is that what you're telling me?
The workers' comp, I think, is the only difference because we have everything OTR. So between what that contract would require for insurance, we have over that. It's just the workers' comp insurance, and there was like one other thing that we ended up buying. One other part of the policy that we bought.
What's that?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something else that we ended up needing, and we just ended up paying it in full. So when you ask me how much I paid for insurance, I rounded it up because
hold on, bro. Let's slow down.
Some of the parts of the policy we paid in full.
You bought something and added it to your policy, but you don't know what it is?
I don't remember what part of it was. It was, I'd have to look. But
was it an umbrella? Was it an umbrella?
No. I'm trying to think. I know it was USLI was one of the people we were talking to. No, it was installation insurance. That's what it was. Installation insurance for the contract. So that was part of what we bought out.
Why'd you do that?
Because they required it. Contract required installation insurance.
But you're not doing the contract, and why would you pay it out for the year? I understand because it got it cheaper.
So the plan was. Go ahead.
Let me kick it with you real quick. It's a final amount contract. Was it for furniture, appliances? What was it for?
Appliance installation mixed with some other stuff. There was actually some conversation.
Let me ask you this. And you were going to do this with your wife, right?
We did it for a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, you're not doing this.
What made you think that you and I don't know your wife, but you clearly new to the channel, right? You new to the channel, right? You got to be new. All right, so let me hit you with the disclaimer. Give me a second, okay? Hold on.
Warning. The following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
What made you think you was going to be able to lift appliances with your wife?
Knee-jerk reaction is tools exist, so you can distribute weight. That's a knee-jerk reaction. Long-term,
what reaction?
Knee-jerk. It's like the quickest reaction I can give you. It's the quickest reaction I can give you, just off the top of the head, without thinking too much about it.
You got an apartment or a house, right?
Apartment.
You got a refrigerator in there?
Yep.
You thought your wife could move? Do you think your wife could move your refrigerator up and down flights of stairs? Honestly.
If we do stuff like a flight of stairs, nah, she putting her on flights of stairs. I'll be doing it, and she'll probably hold something.
You wouldn't be doing it. So this is my question. Why would you accept something? Why would you invest into something that if you would have, you should know you can't do with your wife. Women can't do final mile delivery and moving. Their bodies, they're not, they just can't do it. So why go out for something like that, invest into the insurance, go out, rent a truck, agree to all this shit for something that you should know that your wife physically couldn't do?
Question and answer?
I'm just curious.
So she's actually the one that's been doing most of like finding the contracts and pulling them together. Like I can pull stuff together and see like, okay, we can make this work. This will work this way. Do most of the work behind stuff. But when she goes and does that work, like she'll go and find like, hey, this exists. Let's go try this out. Because the way that she operates a lot of the time is instead of us sitting and trying to figure this out or do this thing or whatever, like just go take the opportunity and see what's there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's better to go and try it out than to not do anything at all. So the answer of, do I think it was going to work? Like, we'll see. I'm not about to tell you what you can and can't do, but we'll see. Obviously, we saw, and that's what I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to tell you, you can't do it. It's grown men that, listen to me, it's men that can't do that type of work. So no, I totally disagree with it.
That was so. Just to be clear, it was done and dusted. So we did it.
I hear
but
what
we
you're
have that.
saying,
Yeah. Okay. So
but but
it's
but
it's
but
not
but
it's
you're
not.
paying. You're listen to me. You're paying for stuff that you're not doing. You're paying for
So
stuff
it's
that if whether you did or you didn't, longevity. Listen, it was only a matter of time you was gonna come across a 28 cubic foot French door refrigerator, 3 or 4 flights of stairs. It wasn't gonna happen, bro. It was
yeah.
only a matter of time you was gonna come across an armoire, a 300-400 pound armoire, or 93 inch sleeper sofa. So I hear what you're saying, but you're talking to a person who's from sub zeros to uh 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 1,000 pound gun safes. You don't know what you're gonna come up across from day to day. I've seen grown men. I've hired grown men that have literally puked. So this is what I'm trying to understand, right? I hear what you're saying, but in this industry, I don't. That's not the way to go. I did a live stream this morning. I talked about it. I don't know if you were watching.
Yeah. I didn't catch that.
You have to know what you're investing in. You have to have a full understanding about what you're getting into. There is no way. Just look. You got an apartment that's furnished. I don't even know what to say, bro. But you got this insurance. You got a van. You got all this insurance that you've pretty much paid for the year now, so you kind of stuck with it. You're paying $1,400 a month, right? All in, pretty much. You're saying $1,400 a
Yeah.
month, right?
That's what I'm averaging out to. Yeah.
For your insurance, another $500. You say $50, so about, let's say, $2,000 for your van and insurance cost a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about any other fixed expenses that you have?
Total fixed is 2,570 for the way I have it calculated.
2,500.
2,570 total.
What
fixed.
about what your variable costs average out to?
Fuel, compounds, but it's mostly what variable is pretty much only, variable is pretty much only fuel, and then if I do diesel, so right now it's what
Well, you run
4,000 if I do it. If I'm doing OTR and I'm going what 17 hours, like it's based on me paying for fuel and then paying fuel to kind of move. So it's higher than it actually ends up being.
you run
But
OTRs. You run OTR, so it can't be just fuel.
most well, unless I'm real special and I don't know what else to consider variable. Most of what I have is fixed, and then there's
How
desired.
tall
So the
are you?
fuel
How tall are you?
5'8", 5'9", somewhere. I used to say I was 5'7", but apparently
How
I'm
much you
taller.
how much you weigh?
About 180.
So you pretty healthy guy, right? You
I'd
don't
say so.
180. You're not famished or anything, right?
Oh no.
So what you just fast the whole time you on the road?
Okay. So I put that in that other part that you were saying is like your own expenses doesn't count. 500. So you put 500 on there.
Your variable listen. Your variable costs are all things that fluctuate. So if you're working, you're over the road, if you sleep in a hotel, that's part of your variable cost. It's not just fuel. If you
Okay.
eat, it's part of your variable cost. This is what I'm saying. Your cost per mile can't be what you're telling me your cost per mile is, because you're not adding everything in to your cost per mile. Anything that
Everything
you spend
is
money on, but you just said
everything
it's
is
fuel.
here.
I
No,
want to
everything
know
is
what your
here.
true cost per
I broke
mile
it.
is.
I could show you, but literally everything here that we spend is there. Now the food costs and all that, that's an assumption on what it would actually end up being. And I just switched it over so it's a variable cost. But when you say fixed versus variable, and there's like, I just put it as desired revenue. So that's covering like, I have stuff like our rent here, electric bill, stuff like that. That's just what we would
What
end up
what
having to
what
cover and pay.
But what does that have to do with your cost per mile?
That's why it's not included. I took it out, so it's separate.
But here,
So what I need,
so the food that you consume when you're over the road should go into your variable cost. That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I just switched that.
Okay, so the cost per mile that you originally gave me of what was it? You said 75 cents?
65. I said 65.
It can't be 65 cents. It's got to be somewhere around $1 or more.
Okay.
Because here's the thing: you're running, like, what radius or what's your radius?
Wherever the wind blows.
Okay, so
I'm just being honest. Like
what's the farthest place you ran?
We went to Washington. We literally came back from Washington last.
So check this out, because I'm kicking it with you, right? We kicking it, right?
Yeah.
You want me to keep it a buck with you, right? Because you told me it was just your variable was just fuel. So you're running all over the place. You're going from damn near halfway the center of the country all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
What about tolls? Is your wife running with you? Is your wife running with you?
Yeah.
So y'all both sleeping in the van, and y'all getting hotel rooms from time to time?
We sleep in the van. And that's why
the whole time
we sleep in the van.
Okay, so what about tolls?
We usually don't hit tolls going west. Every now and then you'll grab something going east, like towards your.
But you hit tolls, so that should be in your valuable. It's not whether if you don't really hit them, you hit them. It may not be a big part of your variable cost, but it should be in there.
Okay, I calculate that in on a back end when they present it with a load. I'll go in and I'll say, okay, going east, I expect tolls. Going here, I don't. But what you're saying, like, yeah.
Here's the thing: you're not your cost per mile you give me when you gave it to me. I knew that wasn't your cost per mile.
Okay.
And I didn't have to. The questions that I'm asking you now, I didn't even have to ask you those questions yet to know that wasn't right. Mm-hmm. In order for you to know your true cost per mile, you have to include all your costs. And this is why when you came up, you said, because you don't know what the true numbers are. You're telling me 75 cents, but you may be spending $1.03 on average.
So when I gave you that number, when I went back and I said for June, and I went through, I literally just averaged the net income that we had per mile. That came out to 35 after I did everything. And if I go back and look at
how can you average the net income? How do you know that's the correct net?
Because that's what I calculated it out.
But you don't know your true cost per mile. So here's what I'm saying.
There was actual expenses.
Here's what I'm saying. You can't say that that's your true net when you're not adding everything into your cost. What you think your cost is not your true cost because you're not adding everything in that you're spending over the road to come up with your true cost as a cost per mile to even say that was your average net.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I let me ask you this. You do something else besides the cargo van thing, right? You still work at Wendy's or no?
No.
So the cargo van is the cargo van is the sole income right now, right?
Yeah.
And now, honestly, because I want to get to the bottom of this and correct the behavior so that you could be on your way. Honestly, be honest with me. Don't talk in the data analytic terminology using the words and shit. Because see, that's where I think you too smart for your own good. As far as the data as a data analyst, but this is something different. You trying to do the data. Fixed variable divided by miles equals cost per mile. You trying to be all data analytic. It's not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's that serious, but it's not as serious as you trying to make it. The equation is simple. Are you making money in your cargo van? Yes or no? Are you operating at a loss or are you profiting? Honestly.
Profiting.
Are you sure? Because you don't know your cost per mile.
I can tell you with how things have been closed, like there's no way I would make we wouldn't be here right now. Like we wouldn't be able to have this conversation right now. There isn't enough of a, hey, I'm digging in over to this pot in order to cover all these costs in order to keep running. That's definitely not happening.
So when you first came, you was like, we making it, but we not making. That was what
Yeah,
Jason
because
said.
we don't have the margins that we want. So if I had to decide to go
So what's your margin? You told me you netting 11 cents a mile. So what's that margin? What does that equate to from a margin?
like in terms of revenue, extra revenue?
Ain't no extra revenue. Is what you
like? What are you saying? What are you saying? Margin?
What do you mean? What do you mean extra revenue?
You're saying margin? You're saying
your
margin.
Your profit margin. You're analytic data analyst. You know your profit margin.
I gotta define stuff. You said margins. Like there's different. Like I said, I
profit
already told
margin.
You I could
profit margin.
Percentage? You want percentage or just like the per mile, or what do you want?
Percentage.
Like percentage. So I've got almost 27% pegged for what we actually end up making to cover like our is like housing and the other things that wasn't considered in there, like covering internet, covering this.
What does your housing got to do with this, bro?
Because you said what am I making? Because I'm covering all of these expenses off of what we've had, right?
Bro,
so when I gave you the 30,
bro, listen. Your housing has nothing to do with your cost. How does your house cost you per mile? Tell me how your rent costs you every mile you run.
I'm putting that's an expense that I'm gonna have to cover. Now, again, you already hit it. You already hit it. You said that it's not.
You got listen, bro. You got a master's degree. You got a master's degree, bro. Come on, work with me here.
Yeah, you work said with so. Me. It's not part of fixed or variable.
It's not a part of nothing to do with your. Listen, your rent. Hold on. Your rent has nothing to do with your business. Period.
Okay.
You know why? That's your personal bit. That's your personal. That shit ain't got nothing to do with your business. CPM, cost per mile. Your rent doesn't cost you per mile. Your light bill, your gas bill, your laundry bill, your car note, none of this stuff costs you per mile.
So my question would be, if you considered you had an employee for that business, and that's what your wage is based on, hey, I need to be able to cover X, Y costs. Let's just call it $2,000, right? If that was an added cost on your business, would that be part of your fixed or variable? It'd be fixed, right?
If you had an employee and you paid him a fixed amount per week, yes, because that's labor. That's part of your cost of the business, right?
That's how I was looking at it. When I did it initially, that's how I was looking at it, because I'm technically an employee. I got to cover my own costs too. So that's how I look at it.
No. Whatever you pay yourself is what you pay yourself. What your cost of living has nothing to do with the business. If you had a cost of living, if you came from the corporate America and you were making $150,000 a year and you had a lifestyle that you built for a person who makes $150,000 a year, and you come into this business and you say you making 11 cents a mile profit margin, you can't add what you are accustomed to living from what your lifestyle was before into this. That has nothing to do with the business. Whatever the business can afford to pay you is what they can afford to pay you. Now, if you got to delay your gratification on the personal side because you can no longer afford to live like a person who was making $150,000 a year, then because you're only making 11 cents, which is equating from what you're telling me to $5 an hour, because you're not running 70 miles per hour. You're driving slow. You're driving 55 miles an hour. So if we want to break it down further, that's about $5.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you equate that? That's your personal problem. That has nothing to do with the business. The business is only concerned with the cost that it takes the cost for the business. Whatever the business can afford to pay you, because remember, the business has to cash flow. right? So whatever the business can afford to pay you, is what it can afford to pay you, right? And if you can't afford to pay your bills, then that means you need to go figure something out on the personal side. That shit ain't got nothing to do with the business. Okay. You can't add your personal cost of living into your business expenses because your business is your business. You are an employee of the business. What you a LLC, I bet. You a LLC, ain't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'd actually, once you get done roasting me, I'd like to go into that difference.
I'm not roasting you. I'm not roasting you. I'm not roasting you. Listen.
No, you good. You good. I'm just keeping it but it's cool. It's cool. But because the difference between doing LLC, I know there's like S corp, which what you guys were talking about, like, hey, you'd rather do it that way. There was, I don't know, it was like a financial break point or something that we were looking into, which makes one better. Like I said, I'm complicated, right? You can make it simple, I can make it complicated.
You making it complicated, bro.
I live this. I literally live this. My mind's good for something. It's usually not doing things simply. But before we go there to the get out of LLC, because when you take away what I calculated in, this cost per mile goes down. So you're very set on I'm calculating this wrong, but there isn't a dollar that I haven't either assumed closely or calculated outright.
Bro,
so
you're adding your rent to your business expenses, bro. That's like
I hear you. If I take that out, my cost per mile goes down.
You heard of Man Man? You know who Man Man is?
I've heard you reference Man Man.
Okay. you running your business like Man Man. You from Detroit.
Hey,
well, you ain't from Detroit, but you moved to Detroit. You know Fonum?
It sounds close enough. I was in Michigan when I was a kid.
You was in where?
Michigan.
Same
place. Detroit.
So you don't
born
know
in Detroit.
Oh, so you was born in Detroit.
Yeah, but I left when I was like 6. So
you supposed to be a player. You supposed to be a player.
All I wanted to say was if we take off them living expenses, which I said was like what, almost 26%, 27%, that cost per mile goes down. And we're assuming that my cost per mile is actually higher.
Here's what I'm tripping on. You adding all the shit that you're not supposed to add, but all the stuff that you're supposed to add, you're not adding. You ain't adding tolls. You ain't adding food. You say, oh, well, my variable cost is only my fuel. All this money that you spend on the road, you spend money on the road, bro. Don't act like y'all just driving and then crawling in the back of that van and snuggling up. What y'all got back there? A little pallet mattress, like a little twin size pallet mattress in the back of the van? A blow up? What's it? What's a twin?
Actually, what is it? It's not even a twin. It's probably a queen because it take up the whole back when you would blow it up. But usually you just use the chair, roll down the chair and tug it.
Y'all doing this all the way across the road?
Hey, listen.
I commend you. I commend you. If you getting it like that, you getting it like that. But here's the thing: if you gonna be getting it like that, you gotta make sure that you get into the money too.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's not luxurious. I'm looking at this as in a retrospect. Like, man, there's a couple different ways we probably could have done this. There's a couple different things that we probably could have done better. Like if we had been introduced to the idea of trying to do moves while I was at Wendy's, for example, because we really just looking for options, right? We were looking for options. This was one that came up. We looked at it a little bit. We did some research and we got it going. And we went with this. We found Mark the Mentor.
Mm-hmm.
We found Mark the Mentor. Maybe we do. If we did. We didn't find you.
If you did. Oh, you didn't find me.
No, we didn't find you.
You in Detroit,
but if found Mark, yeah.
Listen, you in Detroit. Why are you going across the country in a little bitty van with your wife, sleeping on a blow-up mattress with your wife in the back of a van? And you in Detroit. Listen to me. You in Detroit. You didn't do a business plan. You done did all this data analytic. You done oversmarted yourself. You done outsmarted yourself. You done added all the shit that you wasn't supposed to add to your expenses, and the shit that you was supposed to add, you didn't add that, and you thought you was doing something. You're in Detroit. You didn't do a business plan. You didn't do a market analysis. They say don't do a market analysis. Here's prime example of why you should do a market analysis. Everybody, that guy over there, he talking about all this market analysis, business plan. This is exactly why. You know why? What is Detroit the home of? Where is the leading opportunity? What opportunity does Detroit have to offer?
Should be manufacturing. Most of manufacturing plants.
Okay.
A lot of them moved out, but still a lot of them are still there.
Okay. Now, break it down even further.
You're going to have B2B
auto parts. Auto parts. Just chill for a second. Don't go nowhere. Let me just do this for a second. I got
go.
This is exactly why you have to do a business plan. This is exactly why you got to do your market analysis. They say, oh man, that guy over there, we got to get out here. This is why you got to do it, because you're running all the way to Washington for 11 cents. When you're in a market that people that I make fun of that live in middle America wish they was living in. You got opportunity all around you. But you want to drive way across the country and sleep in the back of a van with your wife for 11 cents a mile. You will make more money in your market or even just in your region than what you're doing. You didn't know that, did you?
I'm going to just say no. Because
don't just say no because it's the easy things. Tell me I want to know what you really want to say.
So I know that a lot of freight is just from what we've been looking at from when we started this to where we are right now, right? I know that there's a lot of local freight that'll move around. I knew that Motor City, they did car manufacturing and things like that. But I'm going to say no because I don't necessarily know how to access all of it. Right. I know that I can probably go be an employee somewhere, but that's not necessarily what we're looking to try and do, is just go work at a manufacturing plant. So I'm saying no because the opportunity that you see. I get you.
Hold on. Let me see something. T. Lamb says, you need to stop trying to embarrass this young man. If you're going to help him and give him some nuggets.
I'm here for a reason. Obviously, I respect the knowledge that you have. So it's about understanding where I can.
Hold on. It's always somebody new coming in telling me how to do what I do.
Oh, my bad. Let me step out.
No. It's always somebody coming in that I can't see in the chat telling me how to do what I do on my time for free. Listen, if he's operating wrong, he's operating wrong. It's not an embarrassment, it's a fact. If he don't know his cost per mile and people don't know their cost per mile and they don't know what their operational cost is, it's not an embarrassment. It's a fact. In order for you to make money, you got to know what it costs you to operate your business. Second of all, it's a show. There has to be some type of entertaining aspect from it. All right. If you take it personal, you know what we can do? We can say, everybody want to come up here, I need $100 super chat. Do I say that? No. I take my time, I spend my time, my experience, and I kick it. You got to take it how I'm giving it. It ain't no embarrassment. It's accountability. Because during the pandemic, you know what? You went and you spent a bunch of money with people that sold you a dream. Ran off with your money, disappeared. You gave them 10 and 5 and 10 and 20, $30,000 and they didn't know shit. So if I'm taking my time out and all my years of experience and I'm holding him accountable for getting into a business without a business plan, it's not embarrassing. Yeah, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I'm not going easy on nobody. I'm not going easy on nobody. I'm not going easy on you. You know why? Because business ain't easy. It's wolves out here. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. If he was in a logistics company and my company was in there, I would step all over him. On purpose. Because he's naive. That's business. It's cutthroat. I'm going to step over it. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that he's naive. I'm gonna talk to him in his face. Oh, okay, you got your van over there? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yo, you at 11 cent a mile? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's, man, you're doing better than me. I'm going to take advantage of him. I'm going to put my foot on his neck and I'm going to take food out of his plate because he don't know what he's doing. This is what coaching and mentoring somebody is. Listen, this new generation, I don't know what's up with y'all. I remember back in the day when you tried out for the basketball team and you ran drills and you fucked up a drill, you know what the coach did? Hit you with a paddle. Bend over, hold your nuts. You fucked up the whole drill. Bend over, hold your nuts. Coach had a paddle. Like, man, where y'all come from, man? I ain't talking to you. Where y'all be at? Where y'all think business is like, oh, laissez-faire and rosy and shit like that? So you want me to, 11 cents a mile? Well, I don't think you're making, but that's fair. You thought you were really gonna run final mile and lift refrigerators with your wife? Well, you're in Detroit. Well, you know what? Keep running across the country for that 11 cents a mile. And you know what? I was going to tell you that you can make more money probably in your local market because these are the opportunities. But you know what? Keep doing what you're doing because I don't want to be harsh. But you know, once you get out there and you really get to it, your competition and the people that you're going to come across, they're going to be really, really cutthroat. They're going to really take advantage of you being naive. But don't just worry about that. Don't worry about it. Like, nah. This guy can make more money doing Amazon flexing his van than what he doing.
Yeah, you want to laugh at some more? I actually got.
No, hold on. I'm gonna get back to you. Give me a second. I got to multitask. Listen, we don't duck no smoke. I could easily drop the link. Yo, hit the Cash App. Your favorite content creators, and I ain't talking about box truck. Any sector you go on YouTube, you want to talk to your favorite content creators, hit the Cash App. Where do you see these links and where do you see me asking for money? So listen, if I want to take my time and coach people based on my experience and give them the nuggets and the gems, they got to be held accountable too. Period. All right, man. I'm sorry for taking
Yeah.
your time.
Oh no, you good, man. The reason I really wanted to chime in is because I understand, like, I get your approach with a lot of stuff, and I know that I'm ignorant. Like, I know I don't know everything, and even if I try to learn everything, I'm still not gonna know everything. So I respect the fact that you have stuff that you know, you have things that you've experienced, you've gone through, and it's learning from that. I've always been the type where I don't care how I take it. Like if my plate looks like it looks, that's what it looks like. And then when you give me the game, you say you're a wolf. I don't know. I might be something similar. I'm still a little soft. Like I don't like hurting people and breaking their necks or nothing. But
It's not
you're not
hurt,
going.
bro. It's
No,
not
I'm
hurt.
saying you're not. I
It's
know you're
not
not
hurt.
doing that.
It's
I
not.
know you're not doing
Because
that.
I haven't called you out your name. I haven't
Yeah.
disrespected you. I'm putting things into perspective for you
Yeah.
because I want you to look at things and be like, damn, that do make sense. You know why?
So
Because you can only do this so many times in business. You're going to continue to do this and it's going to start costing you.
yeah. So all I'm
Because
trying to get at, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I
you
was just
got it.
trying to say all I'm trying to get at is this is an opportunity for me to take my specific situation and see how you can spin it. Because obviously there's stuff I don't see. So I want to see what you see.
I was finna cook up with you, but somebody said something in the chat, so I had to jump in the chat.
Yeah. All right.
Man, I don't care about humble. Listen, let me explain something to you. Humble don't mean nothing in business. You can be humble, but it's a wolf out there that's looking to. Let me stop talking to this person. Check this out, bro.
All right.
See, it's people like that. I swear for God. Listen, you in Metro Detroit, bro. The stuff you're doing it all wrong, right? You're doing it
All
all
right.
wrong. You got a cargo van. I'm not a fan of OTR cargo van for this very reason right here. It's too complicated. The margins are very, very small. You're in freight gold. You're in a freight
Yep.
gold mine. So why drive from Detroit all the way to Washington and tell me you're netting 11 cents a mile when you're in a market where all that time that you took for that minimal amount of money, you could be making more than that and sleeping in your own bed every night. You could be doing regional work. I know people that run regional just doing auto parts. Detroit to Grand Rapids, Detroit to Indianapolis, Detroit to Chicago. You know how many dealerships, auto parts come from Detroit coming to the Chicagoland area every single day? I see them all the time. When I'm at I see the cargo vans pull up. I asked one of the guys one time. In cargo vans, bro. It's not the fact, well, you don't know. I'm telling you. But you know what? You would have found this out. You know how you would have known this? You know how you would have saved a lot of time?
Doing market research.
Doing a business plan.
Okay.
And the research would have been within that plan. But you said you just jumped out here because you figure, oh. But I was just doing a whole spiel on that this morning. I did one yesterday or the day before last.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a great case study on why. A lot of time is wasted. And see, listen, people don't like when I say this. They in the chat, they say shit like that, but they'll never come up here. I'm telling you what's in the best interest for you. There's no way in the world I would be living in Detroit and I'd be driving a cargo van to Washington State or wherever the hell you said you went to for 11 cents a mile. You can make more money go standing on a corner and asking people for that. You will make more money doing that. And I ain't being funny. I'm being dead ass serious. So I can't There's no, you know, listen, check this out. I am a stickler for knowing your cost and planning. Period. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change for nobody because I know what it takes to get to the top. People can say whatever the fuck they want in the chat. They can hit the thumbs down. They can hate all they want, but I haven't seen a motherfucker on this platform do what I did. And you could call it cocky, you could call it arrogant, but it's the truth. And I'll put a bag up. I know what it takes to get there. You know what it is? Plan and knowing what it costs you to run your business. You don't know neither, bro. You think you know, but you don't. Because what you told me, that ain't it. And you told me you didn't do a plan. So what you need to do is, one, you need to create a plan. I'm giving you the cheat code. You in a market. You in a cargo van. You should be looking for local work. You in a market where there's opportunity. There's plenty of opportunity in your market. Plenty of opportunity. Plenty of opportunity. Final mile, appliance in a cargo van, you shouldn't even be looking at that shit. OTR in a cargo van coming out of Detroit, that shouldn't even be a thought that should be crossing your mind. What were you going to say? You said you was going to tell me something that was going to piss me off.
Yo, I ain't trying to give you another headache. So
it's too late. You didn't give it to me. This person in the chat.
Let's start easy. So, which one's actually gonna be easy? All right, auto parts is there. You said I could probably make more of Flex. We actually have a Flex account.
I was serious, but I was joking. But here's the point. With what it's costing you to do what you're doing and what you're telling me you think you're making, which you're unsure, right? But even the number that you gave me, it's a waste of time, bro.
Okay.
It's a waste of time, bro.
All right, so you mentioned auto parts then. So let's just move past the mistakes. Let's go toward
when I say auto parts, that's the major commodity that you can run in a cargo van coming out of that market, right? Okay. So there's other manufacturing opportunities out there, right? Mm-hmm. But that's what you should look into. And here's the thing. You mentioned that your wife does all the looking, right?
Yeah.
But this is why it's important for you to do this planning. Because coming out of Detroit, how do you skip over what the major thing coming out of Detroit is? Do you understand why I'm so hard on this planning?
I understand
do you see? But do you see why now?
Yes, because if you do the proper market research, you do the proper planning, you understand the area that you're in, then it's like you're not gonna end up dipping in, or you
doing
can
what
take
you did.
Better advantage of what. Yeah, you're not gonna do what you did. Yeah,
right.
You're gonna be able to see like, oh, I can go 2 miles over here and make a lot more than I'm gonna go 10,000 miles that way.
You can go 2 miles over there, get 10 stops, run that shit to Chicago, and be back by the time for dinner.
Yeah. Ignorance play, and I'm gonna claim it myself, is because even if I understand what market research is, if not knowing where to look or not looking in the right places will get you in the same spot.
But that's why you do the research prior to starting a business. The first thing you did when you got up here, you said you got a master's degree, you took the job, you moved to Michigan, and you just jumped in and you just jumped in there and figured you'll figure it out as you go, something like that. You'll figure it out as you
Pretty
whatever.
much. Pretty much.
And I'm I I don't agree with it. I'm totally against it. And I speak down on people that do that. It's a bad, and this is why. A lot of time was wasted. A lot of money could have been saved. A lot of money could have already been made by just taking the time to just do that. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why people don't do it, and why people challenge me on that shit.
I'm gonna speak to the me's in the world, and I'm gonna say me's because I'm included. It's especially for someone like me. It is difficult to look at a space without understanding where to look.
That's an excuse, and here's why. Because if you do a business plan and you start to do your market analysis, your market analysis is going to tell you what to look. Part of your market analysis is know what the commodities are that's coming out of your market.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You're a smart guy. You have a master's degree. Some of the mistakes that you made are kind of like blind mistakes. I call them blind mistakes. Like some people are just really, really smart, but the simplest things, you're in Detroit. How did you not? You're in the Motor City. You said it yourself, Motor City.
Mm-hmm.
How did you miss that?
Like I was saying before, it's not understanding what you're looking at, because even when we redid a business plan, we didn't have one when we started, but we redid a business plan. Even going through that, I don't have here anything with manufacturing parts or anything that, just doing some, and by the way, it's not detailed market research. I take that one right now. It's like we didn't do like super detailed market research, but there's nothing in there that says, oh, here's this opportunity, we'll take that. We see an opportunity and we like, okay, let's build toward that opportunity. But that's what we find. So to your point, or rather to the point that I was saying earlier, the me's in the world aren't seeing, we're having our blonde moments, maybe just to, go with the analogy you were using. Like I'll go and I'll Google all day and I'm looking for stuff, trying to see what I can find. But if I'm not connecting the dots, I'm not going to see, oh, well, why don't you go to this place, set up this way to do this thing, to grab this commodity and position yourself to contest these contracts or whatever the play might end up being. That's what I'm saying. I already said I complicate things for no reason. I get that. I know that about myself. And I expect
that's the problem. You complicate stuff so much that it's affecting you in a negative way. Because everything, you starting your cargo van business but following the correct steps, you're in a much easier situation you should be than someone that hits me up that's in South Carolina, somebody hits me up that's in maybe North Carolina, someone that hits me up that's in Iowa or some shit like that. You're complicating this more than what you should. It's not easy, but you're making it more complicated than what it is, and you actually have it easier than a lot of other people that are looking to get into this space. You are in a place where other people that are getting into this space wish they had the opportunities that you have, but you're running way over there for what you're telling me. I'm just using what you're saying. I'm not even making fun. This is what you told me. A net profit of 11 cents a mile. But I'm getting flack for telling you what's in the best interest of you. Two people are mad at me. which I don't
Let 'em
give a
feel it,
goddamn.
'cause-
No, listen, I love it. Listen, check it out. I love it. You know why? You know why? Because I'm gonna keep talking my shit. They ain't gonna. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. I ain't never told nobody nothing wrong. Ain't nobody never came back and said, Mark, I followed your method. That shit just don't work. It works. You got to stop overcomplicating stuff. What you need to do is you need to do a reset. All right. We just gonna, you need to do a reset. Your wife is your business partner, right? Maybe you should do the research, because if you telling me your wife, and listen, this is why I don't like talking to people with wives, because I don't want you to get offended. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all partners and you're allowing her, and I'm not saying because she's a woman, ain't got nothing to do with that. But if you're allowing her to do all the research and you're just doing the work, but she's doing the research and she's got you doing final mile, why in God's green earth did you and your wife think y'all was finna be able to lift 28 cubic foot French door refrigerators with your wife is beyond me, bro. I don't know. Why you thought that it would be in the best interest to take a cargo van all across the country is beyond me. But you're telling me she's leading that. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but I'm going to keep it funky with you. Maybe you should take on that role. Somebody got to take that role, or you need to talk to her and y'all need to put y'all heads together and y'all need to come up with a plan and start doing stuff that makes sense.
Cool.
You need to do a reset. If I was you, I wouldn't be driving a cargo van across the country, sleeping in the back of it. And I live in Detroit. You got a 2500 Transit, right? Or ProMaster, right?
Yeah.
ProMaster.
But I got a little short boy. Call it snub nose, 136 wheelbase, so it's shorter.
And then you got a short boy. So you running expedited. How many pallets you putting on there?
2.
Right, because you saying you got a queen size blow up bed in the back.
Oh, it's not there. You can put it there. It's not sitting there. Like, I wouldn't carry anything.
I get what you're saying, but when you got 2 pallets on the back of the van, where are y'all sleeping?
Put the seats down.
That's not a life to live, bro. That's not a life to live. All right, so why are you coming out of Detroit? You want me to keep it funky with you, or you want me to coddle you? What you want me to do? Let me know.
Bro,
because it's 2 people
else
in the chat that's saying I should coddle you. You want me to coddle you? Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them 2 people. Like, I can't even see what you're saying.
I don't care about the 2. Turn the phone landscape mode, and then you can see the comments. Turn the phone landscape mode, and then you should see up in the up in the top right corner. You see the chat icon box. You can open it up.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it because I'm on my phone right now, and it just put me through the actual. Yeah, there's like a little website, so I'm not even on YouTube right now. I'm just through the.
Oh, okay.
Through the thing, so. Nah,
no, I know you're on the website. You're on the website for the link. If you turn your phone, is that portrait mode or landscape mode?
When you turn it wasn't showing me. I'm not gonna fight it. It wasn't showing me.
All right, so if you want me to be honest with you, you need to reset. You need to do a business plan, a full business plan. I wouldn't be going over the road with you don't even got an extended length cargo van.
Nope.
See what I'm saying? But they want me to be soft on you. It's 2 people want me to be soft on you. They want me to coddle you.
Listen, I'm not
going to coddle you. I'm not going to coddle you. You done did everything the wrong goddamn way because you didn't do what was in the best interest for you. You didn't do a business plan. You in a cargo van in Detroit. Do you a business plan, find you some local contracts. There's plenty of local contracts there. You looking in the wrong, you looking. Look, you go look. I just gave you what the main thing. Y'all are known for manufacturing vehicles. It's part contracts. Look at US Pack. They got a lot of part contracts. It's another company. I can't think of the name right now because I'm flustered.
Mm-hmm.
You can do local work. There's plenty of local work up there. There's plenty of regional work.
So I can see that there's regional or local regional work, just the way that some of the stuff pops up. Because obviously, load board, we see that every day. I can see the stuff that's like local, and get into a place where we. That's actually one of the things we're looking at. Just didn't know necessarily where to look. Yeah.
Well, where are you looking at now?
Oh, you Google stuff and then see what we can find. Like it's just contracts. So we look for contracts for shipping contracts and the
Listen,
approach to go to.
start looking at 3PLs for cargo vans.
Okay.
All right. Start looking for dedicated. A lot of people get caught up on that contract. Yeah, that's fine. Look for dedicated.
So what's the difference between dedicated and contract? Just so we can, keep it a buck for the ignorance of me.
It's pretty much the same thing, but I think a lot of people that are coming to this space, they get hung up on this contract thing when you should be really looking dedicated. It's really the same thing, but dedicated is more 5, 6 days, 7 day a week. Contract is dedicated too, but you want to use the correct terminology. You're more dedicated, right? You got one van, it's dedicated.
Okay.
All right. So you want to look for something that's dedicated, that's on a local level or a regional level. Auto parts is something. Tires. Listen, StockX is there, right?
I don't know what that is.
This is why you need to do a business. How I know more about your market than you?
I can come up with reasons, but I don't.
No, you know how I know more about your market than you? Because I know your market. But see, here's the thing. I don't live in your market. You should know your market better than me. There's no way I'm going to let you know. There's no way you can know Chicago better than me. I know Chicago like the back of my hand. It's my market. I'm not going to let nobody out-know me in my own market. If you're going to start a business, right, a logistics business, it's your responsibility to know your market. StockX outsources, all right? StockX is a resale sneaker company. If I want to resell some of my old Jordans and I post them on their website, they post them on their website, I have to ship them to them in Detroit. They're going to authenticate them, and then they ship them to the seller. They use logistics companies. Their corporate headquarters is there. The dude who used to own whatever one of them teams, it's right downtown Detroit, I think. Hold on, bro. Let me see, bro. I know T-Force has the contract here. Hold on. But it's a cargo van contract. Hold on.
Bruh.
1050 Woodard Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Is that downtown Detroit?
I don't know. We're not actually in Detroit. It's just the Detroit metro area.
That's the same thing. Detroit metro area.
Yeah.
Y'all call it. So you over by 8 miles, 7 miles, some shit like that, right?
No.
You in the suburbs, but you still in that area, right? Call StockX and say, yo, who got the logistics account for delivery in this area? You might want to look at T-Force. But you can call them. All those shoes got to come to Detroit. Everybody that sells shoes, it has to come there because that's where they authenticate them at.
Okay. So the only other question that I'm gonna have, at least for right now, because I got some homework, is obviously I'm not thinking right when it comes to doing market research or looking at the right things. And you're talking about, hey, if I'm in my market, if I'm a business owner, I'm doing logistics, I need to know my stuff better than anybody else. So you can come in, you can chat about politics in your area, all the different people. So there's some things that I can pick up in terms of just from listening. But if you had to just tell me from scratch, pay attention to these few little things, or at least start looking at these things and see where that rabbit hole takes you, what would you say?
Say that again.
So you know your market. You're telling me I need to know my market, and you just listed off like 15 different things that if I'd have known my market, I would have known before you.
Mm-hmm.
In trying to do market research, or at least look at different competitors and stuff, I didn't come up with this list. So my question to you is, speaking to somebody in my position, or if you had speak out to somebody who's like, hey, I'm in a similar position, I need to get my market research game up, what would
Mm-hmm.
you give as far as like the first few little things to look at that'll at least get you down the path to see the right things?
Your business plan, your market, the market analysis within your business plan is going to force you to buckle down and study your market. The commodities coming out your market, all the way down to the median mean income of the people in your market, the earnings,
Okay.
the average household income. All this
Okay.
plays a part. Some people, they don't think this shit is important. It's very important, and this is why. All the way down to knowing the commodities, the companies, the opportunities that are coming out of your market. Because I say it all the time. It's somebody right now. It's been plenty of people that have gone out and bought a cargo van, but they weren't in your type of market. They weren't in the Midwest. They weren't in a market that was a manufacturing gold mine. They were in Kansas City, Kansas, or they were in Des Moines, Iowa, or they were in Lexington, Kentucky, or Nebraska or Idaho or some shit like that. And they come to me in my DM talking about I got a cargo van and I can't find no work. And I'm jumping down their throat the same way I'm jumping down your throat saying, what, did you do a business plan? No, why I need a business plan for? Did you study your market? Yeah, well, I wanted to do local work, but did you do a business plan? No. Did you do a market analysis? No. Well, if you would have did that shit, then you would have known you live in the middle of nowhere because you a middle American and ain't no opportunities in your market. Well, what I got to do? Well, only thing you can do is try to go over the road with it. I'm not a fan of OTR in a cargo van. Where's the nearest 3PL? Oh, well, it's in the next town. The next town is 300, 400 miles north of here. So then that's not an option then. So what do? Sell the cargo van. For real? Yeah. You know why? Because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You would have known that there's no local work. So it's people that come to me that are in your situation, but they don't have the opportunities that your market has to offer. So they get a cargo van thinking they're going to go local and there's no local opportunity. So they screwed. You got a cargo van with plenty of local opportunities because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You running all across country for pennies. It's somebody right there. It's plenty of people in your market that's doing better than you, and they at home right now in their bed. They're going to get up in the morning and they're going to go make $600-700 in their cargo van. And they're gonna be home for dinner, and they're gonna sleep in their bed. They're not gonna lean their seat back like you doing with your wife for weeks at a time. And I'm not saying this to, here's the thing, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Here's the problem I have, and here's why I'm so hard on y'all young people, because y'all don't think. And when people come in and say be soft on y'all, it makes me go harder because y'all don't have what we had coming up. So I'm challenging you to use your brain. Everything that I've did is to challenge you to think. What's up here is more dangerous than any weapon. I could tell you smart, you bright. But when it comes to basic stuff, you kind of blind.
You're not the first, probably won't be the last person to tell me that.
But see, you real nonchalant about it.
Well, my nonchalant is understanding. Like I know that there's stuff for me to work at, and at least when it comes to that.
Keep talking. I gotta run to the back. I can hear you through
Yeah. All right. So
the headphones though.
I know that there's like, especially with the whole like understanding simple stuff or not making things complicated. Like that's been the story of my life. Like I've been getting that feedback. The space for me is getting somewhere where I can understand how not to do that, and that's probably in and of itself a bit counterintuitive. Like, but I can only do what I can see. I can only understand what I put my hands to. With data, just because like, yeah, I got the degree, like you put some information in front of me, I can start looking at what's on my paper and I can start, picking stuff out. I can start recognizing patterns. But you tell me, I don't know, place a Lego to the right, I'm gonna ask you how far to the right. What am I supposed to be doing here?
I can't accept that. I can't accept that. That I can only do what I can do. That's not.
If I don't, so here's my thing with that.
No. As a business owner, it's your duty to go above and beyond. You can't be, because you said I can only. That's a loser. Like you talking like a loser would talk. I can only. No, I'm keeping it a buck with you. Listen,
yeah, let's do it.
It's your job to go above and beyond. The moment you say I can only do, I can only do. You can only do what? That's like a person who you ready to give up before you start. Well, I can only do what I can do.
Yeah, and I will stick with it. And here's my understanding of that. Right, when I say I can only do what I can do, or I can only do like I have this theory, like the way that I view life. You got a set of cards. You do what you can with them. Like you playing poker. You doing whatever card game you doing. Right. You got your cards. You can play with them. If somebody like you, for example, we didn't have this call, right? I didn't come on this live. There's some things that you told me that unless I got real lucky, researching on the webs, I probably don't find. Like I look at it like if you're saying it's a matter of I'm not doing enough or I'm not.
It's not lucky, bro. It's not lucky, bro. It's not lucky, because if it was lucky, I wouldn't have the information to give you. I didn't get I ain't never been lucky.
So would you consider walking down the street and seeing a $100 bill in front of you lucky, or would you say that was because you were intentional? I'm just trying to understand luck.
Let me ask you a question. Who won the battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
I ain't even pay attention. I only know stuff that just keeps popping up in the feed. Like I don't even pay attention to it.
Who won the presidential debate?
I was listening to you talk about it, and I heard a little bit of it, even though I probably wouldn't have paid attention to it anyway. You can roast me later. But to what the sentiment is, Trump.
What sector this year has really been bubbling in technology?
AI.
So out of those three questions, you don't follow politics. You don't follow popular culture. But when it comes to tech, you answered it like that. The reason why I asked you those three questions, and I asked you a question, one in politics, I asked you one for popular culture, and I asked you one in tech. I know your background. I know your education level. I knew you would know the tech question. I knew you would answer it like that. The way you know tech, based from your background, right, in education, that's how you need to know logistics. The reason why you know that is because you take the time to follow maybe technology content. You probably consume technology because that's what you're interested in. For you to answer it like that quick, that means you consume that type of information. So there's no such thing as luck. In order for you to be a master in this space, the way you consume things that you're interested in, you have to do the same thing in this space.
All right. So if
there's no such thing as luck. How I can sit and talk about your market? It's because I know your market. I can't say the same for everybody's market. The reason why I can do what I do is because I consume the information that's best for me. If I'm investing into something, I have a full understanding of what I'm getting into. I don't get into it. Listen, I'm not going to get up here on YouTube and embarrass myself. I'm not going to get up here. I've seen a lot of content creators during the pandemic when I came in that got up there. You can go look through their content. I can dissect their content and shame them. I've done it before. Didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. They were talking to an audience of people who were looking to them for advice, and they were consuming misinformation, but they didn't know it was misinformation. I've exposed people like that. I know better than to talk about shit that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to invest into something or get involved in something unless I have a full understanding about it. The reason why I can talk about trucking on a vast level and don't get the problems that a lot of other people got, because everything that I talk is coming from over a decade of experience. I already paid the cost. The losses, the mistakes, I've already made them 14 years ago. So this is how I can come up here and tell a person what to do, what not to do, and they be like, give me my flowers. Man, Mark, I didn't like you at first, but man, I tried it, man. Man. Ain't no such thing as luck.
Okay.
You get into something, if you get into logistics, you have to be entrenched in it. You know why? Okay. You know why? You know why?
I'm just gonna say because you're gonna come and eat off my plate if I'm not.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
I was just throwing something out there. I don't know. I don't have.
It ain't got nothing to do with me. Because becoming fully entrenched in consuming information and becoming as knowledgeable as possible is going to be in the best interest of you. It ain't got shit to do with me. It's you and your business. This has got shit to do with you. I'm going to do what's in the best interest of me. Now, if we happen to be competitors, then get out the way. But that's not the situation. The fact of the matter is it's beneficial for you. Ain't no such thing as luck. You using a bunch of words and shit that ain't even in my. If luck, I would be sitting here talking to you, I'd be at the horseshoe right now. In the high limits room. I tried that. Thousands and thousands of dollars later. Ain't no such thing as luck. You win some, you lose some. It is what it is. In business, it is what it is. The way you get ahead in business is understanding what you're investing in, making sure you got a proper plan, and knowing what it costs to run your business.
All right. So if I'm listening to you and I'm hearing everything you're saying, especially when it comes to the market research, understanding everything, and the example that you used of I know tech because I consume tech information. Like that's just something either I'm interested in or I just pay attention to. In order for me to not be the same person or be in the same position, I need to look at logistics the same way, have the same interest, just business in general, have the same level of attention to what's going on around it. I hear you talk about your investments. I hear you talk about how you trial and errored some things. So I'm still going to be stuck on which place to look, but at least having at least a difference in how I look at tech versus how I look at everything else. Because there's stuff that I just don't pay attention to. because I don't want to. So
And that's fine. But logistics, you need to be looking into the areas where you can make money utilizing the equipment that you have. I didn't even know you had a regular van. I didn't even ask you that. So that's another, like, you going cross country for 2 pallets. Listen, bro. Listen. I hate doing this show. I talk about it because it gives me a headache. I do this show to help. That's it. I don't make any money from it. Well, Mark, you getting paid for the views. The fuck I don't. Why? Because my intro was 21 Savage. That's copyrighted. This live stream will not be monetized. The reason why I don't like doing this show anymore is because it gives me a headache. This is why I don't do it weekly anymore. Right? And it's becoming a pain to educate people. Especially my own people. If you want to be a business owner, you want to be successful in this business, then you need to breathe, live, eat, shit this business. Period. All right? The reason why I was able to do what I was able to do is because I did all of those things. I lived it, I breathed it, I shitted it, I ate it, I sacrificed for it, I sacrificed relationships for it, I sacrificed everything for this shit. I had like some background noise. You got something came on, like your AC came on. Okay.
Hold on, let me take care of that.
Nah, I mean, if it's hot, man, it's hot. I just went and turned my AC up, man. I'm burning up here with under these lights. I'm under a bunch of lights.
I'm cool right now.
Oh well, yeah. I had. That's why I walked away to go turn the AC up because these lights is frying me. Engulf yourself in this business. You have to seek out the information, bro. I don't know what you did to your camera, but you real blurry now, bro.
Yeah, it's because I was walking around and got confused. It should probably clear up here in a little bit.
I ultimately want you to win. I don't want you to lose, bro. Like, everything that I'm telling you, the humor that was in it earlier, now it's frustration. The reason why I'm frustrated now is because it seems like you nonchalant about it.
No, I'm not nonchalant. I was actually trying to keep it a little light because it's serious, right? But I'm also not trying to take it super serious. I'm not trying to, because, like, especially when I was talking about like the thinking pattern, right? I look at this and I'm saying, like, hey, somebody else is on this live stream. You got like almost 100 views right now. Somebody else in this live stream, I probably got a similar mindset that I do. Look at things similarly to what I do. They're gonna leave this live stream and they're probably gonna do the exact same thing because they're not getting it. So I'm keeping it nonchalant. One, because I'm not gonna, I don't feel like I'm getting beat down or attacked or anything. Like this, like you were saying, you're doing this as a charity. Like you just doing this because you want to try and help people. So I'm taking them like, all right, what can I take from this so that I can actually, level up? What can I take from this so the next time's like, hey, I don't have to do this OTR thing the way we doing this OTR thing. What is that next opportunity? How we look at it? How do we, build this out? Like I'm looking at that saying,
you don't need to do OTR, period, bro. I'm telling you this.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm telling you, don't do that shit. You don't have the right equipment to do it. You don't know your car. Listen, it's not beneficial for you, bro. It's really not beneficial for you because of the market that you in. It's more opportunity there that you're gonna make more money with less strain, less wear and tear, less you can listen. Once you put the 2 pallets on the back of the van, bro, you can't even sleep, bro. You can't even get a good night's sleep, bro. You can't even rest, and then you factoring in that you got to get up and continue to drive. It's not safe. It's not healthy.
So what I'm saying is I hear it. Yeah, what
Okay.
I'm saying is I hear that. And
so-
the comment that I was making was, even though I'm taking this light on the chin or whatever, I am taking it seriously. Like, we're looking at this like, okay, what are these things that I should have been looking at? And just pretty much just digging in on that. So I'm listening.
The past is the past, bro. The past is the past. You made the mistake.
Yeah.
You done. Now you got to look from here going towards the future. Now you need to do your business plan, and you need to focus that van on local contract. You paying like this workers' comp shit, like all this shit. You paying an enormous amount of insurance for shit that you don't even need it for. You just and this is what upsets me, bro, because I tell people one thing, which is the right thing, but it's other people that tell people the opposite because they want to oppose me so bad that they're willing to tell people something that they know the fuck is not right, but they just say this shit just because they want to oppose me. This is the way you run a business. This is the way you start a business. You don't need to go over the road. You're not. You don't have the equipment. You're not equipped for that lane. You're in a market where there's plenty of opportunity. You need to do a business plan. You need to find local work. I've given you some great options that you didn't even know existed.
Mm-hmm.
For you to start with, right? Stop thinking about the past. That shit over with. That shit over with. It's done, bro. You need to think about shit going forward and how you can turn this business around and scale from there. You know, dedicated work. Even if you do office supply delivery, I know T-Force is up there. They got StockX. If I was you, I would call StockX tomorrow and see who holds that contract in that market. Call the StockX corporate down on Woodard Street, downtown Detroit, and ask them for the logistics department and find out who you can contract with for that. Because here is T-Force, but that's the capital for the shit. All those shoes got to come there for authentication, and they use cargo vans for that shit. All the auto parts, the tires, whatever other commodities that come out of Detroit for manufacturing. If you can't find nothing, it knows why you still looking. T-Force, Office Depot, Waco, Capstone, Staples do dedicated office supply delivery work. Medical supply, delivering medical supplies, wheelchairs, crutches, canes. You writing this down?
Bro, I got my computer right here. Yeah, I'm typing.
Right.
I don't know if you can see it in my eyes.
So look into all these things, and while you're looking into these things, still be looking into the auto parts. US Pack, they do auto parts. I don't know if they do them up there, but you look in US Pack. You got US Pack?
It's up there, yeah. Auto parts, tires, StockX, T-Force, US Pack, office supply, medical supply, cargo van, dedicated 3PL. Ask who has the contract with those different places when you call them. Business plan, local work.
What else you got for me?
As far as this is concerned,
ask all your questions now.
I did want to dig back into that cost per mile because I thought I had it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I came up here and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I got it right. And apparently I don't. So I want to make sure I get that right. I want to make sure I get that right.
First of all, your living expenses don't got shit to do with your business.
All right, cool. I got that as desired revenue. So it's just when I say desired revenue, that's like,
why?
All right. The way that I was thinking about it is I need to pay these bills. So if I'm saying that I'm gonna have X amount,
what bills are you talking about?
I gotta live. I got a roof over my head. I got a wife to take care of. If I'm doing something, I'm
Let's
all right.
kick it. Let's kick it.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
I got to take care of all that. So if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna make sure that those bills, I'm gonna call them bills, are covered. Because if that money isn't hitting my pocket, let's just say I'm hitting my margins or whatever you want, whatever we want to call it, right? And I'm not paying that bill, I'm failing. So let me make sure that there is enough meat left on the table when everything is cut off that I can still eat over here if I'm going to do this work. Now, if I'm, somebody else is doing the work or it's a contract or whatever, this is a different story. I don't need to eat off of that, but I do need to eat off of something, especially if I'm doing the work.
All right, let me ask you this: you got $2,000 gross for the week. Your expenses to run that week were $1,000.
Okay.
What do you pay yourself?
If everything was gone, then actually I keep it in the business. I only cover what I need. So for you, just to answer your question, I'm going to take out my rent and I'm going to take out my food. And let's just call that $1,500.
Once again, if you gross $2,000 for the week and it costs you $1,000 to run, minus you haven't taken out your pay yet. What do you pay yourself? You only got $1,000. What do you pay yourself?
I'm going to pay myself the percentage that I need to cover my costs, my other living costs. That's what I'm going to pay myself. I'm going to pay myself exactly what I need to cover my bills.
So if that's $900, then you're going to pay yourself $900, right?
Yes.
Wrong.
Okay, let's hear it.
So
you said I'm wrong. Yeah.
You're wrong. I gave you an example. $2,000 is what you gross. All your expenses are $1,000 minus what you got to pay yourself. You're going to pay yourself. Now, you said with that $1,000, you still got to pay yourself. And you said, well, I'm going to pay myself whatever my cost to live is. So if your cost to live is, let's say, $900, then you're going to pay yourself $900, right? That's going to leave $100, right? Right?
All my expenses were $1,000. You said it was $3,000, so that was $2,000.
Minus your pay. So it's $1,000 left. You still got to pay yourself. I said, what do you pay yourself? And your answer was
what I need to cover expenses.
What I need to cover your living expenses. Okay, so let's say your living expenses are $900. You're gonna pay yourself $900, right?
Exactly.
Wrong.
Okay.
You know why?
No.
You don't know why?
No. I mean, you're gonna say Uncle Sam has taxes. Is that what we're gonna call it?
No, fuck the taxes.
So
what about the business?
Okay.
No, you said okay, but what about the business?
The business gets 100 in this very fortunate situation. Hold on.
So you're richer than your business?
The business can't operate without me.
The business can't operate without cash flow. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. So in that
scenario, the business, what you mean the business can't operate without you? Who is you? The business can't operate. Man, listen. The business can't operate without cash flow.
Okay.
You can be there, but if ain't no money, ain't no business. What you mean, you? All right, go to the business, ain't got no money to run. Guess what? You ain't got no business.
Okay.
So you know what you do when you do that? So this is why you wanted to come back to that. I was going kick, but we went for it later. That's called robbing from the sustainability of the business. How can your business sustain when you robbing it? You sticking it up. Listen, and here's where the problem is, and I've done plenty lectures on this before. People get mad all the time when I do. I haven't done one of these lectures in a minute, but there's plenty of content, live streams I did. I did a really good one day last year. I was sick. I was coughing, but I cooked. Let me explain something to you. The business don't give a fuck about your personal expenses. It don't give a fuck about you, your wife, your kids, little man's tuition, their soccer uniform. The business don't care nothing about none of that shit. The business is greedy. It's selfish. All the business cares about is making money. It hates to spend it. It loves to make it. It wants to hold on to as much as possible. Your personal expenses have nothing to do with the business. So guess what? The business has to sustain. So if you have a cost of living that say here in the business and the business can't afford to pay you X amount of dollars to maintain whatever cost of living that you have made for yourself, then guess what you got to do?
Your favorite word, delayed gratification?
And you got to cut. Some got to go.
All right.
See, these are all the things that you are supposed to think about that other people say, no, do what you did. Just get out there and find your way through it. And this is why people fail. Because they don't have no cash flow. Why? Because they came from here and they might have been making X amount of dollars here. And because, when people make more money, they do what? They spend more money, right? So if you coming from a place where, let's say you were making $150,000 a year, right? And you have a lifestyle based around a person who's making $150,000 a year, and then you come in the cargo van business like you did, and you're making 11 cents a mile net, you no longer can afford to live how you lived when you was working a job because the only thing you were responsible for was taxes. Your cargo van may just barely make $150,000 a year, but guess what? Minus the expenses, you're not making what you were making when you were working a job. So you're actually making less than what you were making. You're not even making $100,000 in your pocket because 9 times out of 10, your operational costs are more than 50% anyway. The business don't care nothing about your personal. So here's the thing. If you came from a lifestyle where you were making X amount of dollars here and you had a lifestyle that reflects the type of money that you were making and you're no longer making that type of money, the business can't afford to pay you what it costs to live. So that means you have to decrease your living expenses.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a sacrifice somewhere, young man.
That's why we moved from Oregon. We understand it. Okay. So yeah.
Listen to me. This is what your major problem is. I'm gonna tell you what your problem is, bro. It really ain't got nothing to do with the cargo van. You don't understand. You're not comprehending business. All right. You move from Oregon, but you keep talking about I gotta live, and that's fine. But here's the thing: you want me to keep it a buck with you? You want me to keep it a buck with you? You want me to because I can be a dream crusher from time to time, but I can only be honest with you. It sounds like you're in a situation where you may not. Whatever it costs you to live, your business can't afford to pay you enough to cover your living expenses. So if you're not willing to cut your living expenses, then there's only one option. If you don't want to cut your living expenses, then there's only one other option you can do before you got to fold. You know what that is?
No.
Make more money. So
okay.
Those are only two options. Either you're going to make more money or you're going to cut some expenses. You can't rob from the sustainability of business because if the business has no cash flow, you have no business. And that's what you've been doing. You've been running a business to live. A business doesn't run to cover your cost of living. A business runs and rewards you a salary or a paycheck for the service that you provided. You're not supposed to pay yourself more than what the business. That's just like saying, who's the CEO of Apple?
What is his name?
Tim Cook. Let me give you an easy one. Who's the founder of Amazon?
I don't remember his name.
Who's the founder of Nike?
I don't know that person.
Who's the
Only
founder
name
of
I'm
Tesla?
probably gonna-
Who's the founder of Tesla, bro? Come on, you gotta know this.
Right now.
Don't look it up. Look at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera. My eyes are closed. My eyes are closed.
God, Jesus.
I can't think of his name right now because I'm laughing to myself. I already know, like, he got space. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. I know what he looked like because I did, I remember that. But I
You
can't think
fucking
of his
with
name
me.
right
You
now.
fucking with me, right? Because if you fucking with me, I gotta go, bro. I ain't got time to wait.
I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I can't think of his name right now. I literally cannot think of his name right now. I know I know a little bit about him just because his stuff show up on social media. A lot of people like to roast him, but I can't think of his name right now. But I know I, yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
So how is it that you know that AI is the top sector in the tech space?
Because that is what gets talked about within the stuff that I'm looking at. Like
Okay, so
within.
what do you look at? Because I'm trying to understand you, bro. I'm trying to really understand.
I don't pay attention.
You're very you're a complex person, bro. You're complex. You're if that's even the right word. You're something. What do you consume on a day-to-day basis?
There's some YouTube channels that I'll look at that are. I try to learn. Like I'm trying to learn like the trade that I'm in, like just with tech. So with analytics,
What
like
are
I'll
you
look
in?
at that.
What are you in as far as tech is concerned?
Like I'm
What's the number one tech
the
company? What's the number one AI company right now?
well, outside of what ChatGPT's been doing, as far as like what they just keep putting out, and then
What's
there's like some other things.
What's the company that owns ChatGPT?
I don't know.
OpenAI. What's the number one
Okay,
AI?
OpenAI.
What's the number one AI company right now? By market cap. By market cap.
I don't know. I wouldn't know about market cap.
Nvidia. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just picking your brain to kind of see where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second, bro.
No,
I'm trying to figure out how to. So this is what I would recommend for you, bro. There's a lot of basic business practices that you have no idea. You have no idea. Because you're confused, this whole living expense thing, you pondered on this a few times and I meant to, but now we're here. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what your living expenses are, but normally when people continuously talk about living expenses, because I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I've had people that have come up on other shows, testimonials, and the call in. Well, Mark, I gotta pay. I gotta take care of home. I gotta take care of home. And every time they say that, and I go and I break it down, their cost of living is exceeding what their business is bringing in. And you keep saying it. So whatever. Do you have children?
nah.
So it's just you and your wife. Your rent, as you said, $1,500 a month.
No. That's how much I allocated. What?
Well, how much is your cost
Sorry.
of living? Let's break it down. Let's just go through it. Let's fuck it. We here
So what
now.
I
What's
what I
your
put
cost of
in
living?
what I put in I put 2,600
That's it.
for the month.
That's
Everything
rent,
that we have in here.
utilities.
Yep.
What about a car
That's
though? You ain't got no
everything that.
car.
Oh, I don't pay that. That's paid off.
Okay, so your
I got
rent.
stupid insurance though, but that's a separate discussion.
But is that included in the 2,600? No.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
your rent, your insurance, your car insurance,
Yes.
your utilities,
Yes.
food,
Yes.
and it's two people, you and your wife, only 2,600 a month.
Yes.
Okay. How much do you been paying yourself running your cargo van? But goddamn, hold on. How much is your rent?
$950. It's a little less than that, actually. I round up. So the 26 is actually higher than the actual expenses.
And how much is your car insurance?
That's the stupid one. I think it was like $250. I think I redid it. It should be going down the next premium, but it was something stupid because of what Michigan requires. But yeah.
So you probably pay what, another $100 in electricity. Right now you probably pay like $40 or $50 in gas.
Electricity goes like 60. Gas, we usually don't drive very much anywhere.
No, I'm talking about gas to heat and cook and stuff like that.
Oh, that's included. Gas is included.
So $2,600. Y'all ain't buying no clothes or nothing like that.
Not really. If we have a little bit of extra, we'll go there. If there is extra,
what about your cell phone bill, your Wi-Fi?
Technically business expense, but it's there.
So $2,600, bro. You sure?
I'm sure. We got numbers here.
I'm just trying to make sure we giving the right, that you got the right information, because you know you gave a lot of the wrong information earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because I wanted to make sure. Like I said, I listened to the other lives, and I was like, all right, let me go actually do this breakdown per mile, because I had it broken down per dollar. I was like, let me go ahead and break this down per mile, and I went and broke it down per the miles that we were calculating we would have to meet in order to cover the costs, and this is what we got. So when I said before, if I took away what is now 17 cents for whatever we take, that would be 47, what I'm looking at right now, for the actual cost per mile to run the cargo van.
Say that number again.
If I did it right, 47.
Say that. 47 cents a mile.
Yeah,
and that's
because I took away what I was paying myself.
And that's not including. Well, hold on. That's not including your personal expenses, right?
Yeah, that's 17.
What about health insurance? Somebody just brought something up, because I'm finna be a stickler on that shit now.
I'm a Navy veteran, so I remember you had that conversation. I think it was like a couple days ago, if it wasn't yesterday. You were talking about health insurance. That is something I'm gonna have to look at. But I'm a veteran, so I don't have, like, I can get like 99% of my care done free. Dental is something that I'd have to cover out of pocket.
So, but you don't have it.
I don't have health insurance. I haven't had it since I was a W-2.
So you don't have any insurance?
I don't have it, but I'm also a veteran. So I'm saying, like, when it comes to most of my medical care, I know that I can go to a VA to get most things covered. I've actually looked into that. So because I have VA, majority of my stuff is covered. This is like maybe like some fringe stuff that might not be covered, depending on like how some stuff happens. But it wasn't something that was super out there. Go ahead.
And I'm assuming you're not investing into your future currently.
Define investing in the future. Besides like stocks and stuff.
Retirement.
No, we didn't put that in there. That was yeah.
You said your cargo van is netting about $11,000 a month.
That's what we were able to do last month.
Gross. And how much of that did you spend on the business? Just the business. I don't care about your personal life.
I didn't do like a bill breakdown on everything.
So you don't got a P&L. So you don't got a P&L.
Not detailed.
I mean, do you know what a P&L is?
Yeah, it's a profit and loss statement. I don't have it detailed like you need it.
Do you have one or you don't have one?
No. I'm just going to say no.
So you grossed 11. What did you spend?
So let me just do this real quick. So that's $38.50, and then we're going to add in the fuel. And I assume this, so $38.50 and then 33. Just call it 33. So 68. Let's call it 68. No, 38, 33. So let's call it 75. Call it 75.
I don't want to call it anything.
All right, hold on.
Listen, this is
Let me get it.
business. You can't just call it something. It is what it is.
I rounded up.
This is why I'm messing with you. Don't round me anything. It's real numbers. Did the broker round up when you agreed on taking a loan? Did he say, I'm just gonna round it up for you to help you out? Or did he give you a real number? Did he give you a real number? Does the insurance company round down on you? Or do they give you a real number? Does whoever you financing your van through, do they round down the number to help you out? Or do they give you a real fixed number? I need a fixed number. You
71,
listen,
40, 28.
man, you're doing calculations right now. I don't believe that, bro.
I just did. These are all the
71 what?
7140, 7,140 dollars 28 cents. Between the fuel costs that we estimated out, which I just took the highest, fuel that I ended up paying. Usually ends up being less than this.
So you grossed 11,000 even. We just gonna say 11,000 even because that's what you told me. And
yeah,
you netted.
So this is
$7,140.
No, that's what we spent.
Oh, that's
so
what you spent. $7,140.
It's just call it 1,100. It's 11,137.78. Is exactly what we got for everything that we
minus. Hold on, bro. 11,000. God damn it. 11,000 minus 7,100 and what?
Why are you here? No, fuel costs. 7,140.
Now that 7,140, does that include your pay?
No, I just did the operation cost.
All right. So that's what you spent, right? You didn't add your rent and none of that shit, right?
Nah, no.
All right. Now, out of this $3,860, what do you pay yourself?
$26.
You don't make enough money, bro.
Okay. That's what we started the conversation like this. I could feel without even like being as detailed as I need to be in there. It's like, hey, this isn't like we not cutting everything the way that we'd like to.
So you just robbed the business. You just screwed the business. With 38, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And this is for the month. This ain't for the week. This is for the month.
For the month.
You really can't even afford to pay yourself. Now, because your wife is running with you, is she an employee? Do you consider her an employee?
Yeah.
Why?
Let's go ahead and call it that.
Why?
Because we're both operating to contribute to the income of the business. So
it's one
that's
van.
That's the definition I'm going to use.
It's one van. You can't afford you can't afford 2 employees. If the numbers that you're telling me are exactly correct, your business is at $3,860 and you haven't even paid yourself. So let's say you paid yourself $500 a week. That's $2,000. That leaves $1,860. But $2,000 isn't enough to cover your cost of living. Now let's say you pay both of you guys $500 a week. That's $1,000 a week. That's $4,000 a month. Now you're operating at a loss. Tell me how you can afford to pay 2 people with $3,860.
It ain't fair. That's
it ain't fair.
No, I'm saying it's not fair. If you're asking me how can I afford to pay 2 people, That you're not getting paid fair.
The answer, no, you're not getting paid at all. You're not getting paid at all. With 3860, you should. You're not getting paid at all. What do you mean fair? Listen,
I'm just saying it's not minimum wage. If you want to try.
What it's nothing. This is the point. This is the point that I'm trying to get to. You're not thinking like a business owner. It goes back to what I was talking about an hour ago. Sacrifice. It's got to come from somewhere. Where's it going to come from? Where are you going to make the sacrifice? I'm spending a lot of time with you, man. They told me I was being mean to you. I was picking on you. I wasn't helping you. If this ain't help, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So check this out. Where are you going to make the sacrifice, young man?
It's a good question that I'll probably have to think about a little more. I wanted to try and give an answer because that's just how.
You only got 3860. You only got 3860. You ain't gonna have. It's a business. You gotta think on your feet. It's business, baby.
I mean, I can cut. Get more money. That was an answer. That was one of the answers you were given earlier.
Well, how you gonna get more money? You decided to run OTR expedited in a cargo van and a short boy cargo van across country. Yeah. I would love to see some of the. I would love to see some of the loads you accepted. I would love to see them, but we're gonna say that for another time. Right now, we're looking at $3,860 net for the month, and we have a dilemma on our hands. What do you pay yourself, right? Because you're married, you have rent and expenses of $2,600. What do you do, business owner? What do you do?
Pivot. The only thing I can do is look for an opportunity that pays more or that costs less.
You can do that next month, but right now rent is due. What do you do?
Rent is paid. If let's just assume nothing was already taken care of. Rob Peter, pay Paul, find a loan. Like
this is what I would do.
Options are out.
3860 is not enough for me to pay myself.
Okay. So I start eating bologna.
Do you understand? But hold on. Do you understand why? We're not just going to jump. Do you understand why?
I'm going to assume because I'm going to say like I don't necessarily see where you're saying I don't pay or the business doesn't make enough because if you look at numbers like 26 is less than 38. So yeah, I got enough. That I'm saying I'm keeping it a buck with you too.
All right, boom. You driving? All right, let's now we finna get into the nitty gritty. Cash flow. You think $1,200 is enough cash flow? Let's kick it. You driving? You want to be Mr. Big? Drive cross country OTR in a cargo van. All right, you driving through Kentucky. You driving through Idaho. You get a blowout. You blow out your 2 front tires. You in the middle of nowhere. Ring. Yeah. Yeah, we're off mile marker 55. Yeah, what's your name? Terrell. Yeah, I'm Terrell. We're off marker 55. Now, let's say you're going through Kentucky. It's even better. You're in the middle of Kentucky. Oh, man. Wait till you hear this one. Yeah, and I had 2 blowouts, and I'm off mile marker 55. Terrell? Oh, yeah. Can you guys come? I only got 1 spare, so we're going to actually need a tow. I see the nearest town is about 150 miles. Yeah, $3,000. I'm not exaggerating.
Mm-hmm.
The price may be exaggerated, but there's people that pay more for tows. Yeah, they may be in bigger equipment, but the fact of the matter is they can charge you whatever the hell they want because you need them. They don't need you, and they know you in a desperate situation. And guess what? It happens all the time. What do? Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
You have no cash flow, and you're exposed to a lot more liability running OTR. Anything can happen. When you're out on the open road, you have to make sure you got money. Anything can happen. And anything that happens when you're over road, you know what? It costs a lot more than it happens when you're local. See, if you break down in Detroit and you need a tow, 150, $200. You call old man McKenzie and you tell him your name is Terrell and you in the middle of Kentucky somewhere, they can charge you whatever they want, and they are going to. If the nearest town is 150 miles, that toll gonna be over $1,200. And then guess what? When you get to town, you gotta buy a new tire. Or you can have Cassidy or one of these Goodyear, they can drive the 150 miles out and do it for you. But guess what? They start charging you by the hour once they leave their terminal. So if they got to drive 100, let's say 150 miles out, they probably charge you $125 an hour, plus the cost of the tire. They're not going to bring the cheapest tire. They're going to bring the most expensive tire. Ask me how I know.
Because you had it happen and or you did it.
Exactly. So they're going to charge you let's say $25 an hour from the moment they leave. That's a 2.5 hour drive. They're going to charge you. The clock is still running while they do it. Then they're going to charge you for the tire. And guess what? That 2 hour drive back to wherever it is they came from, the nearest town, you got to pay for that too. But if your truck breaks down and it ain't a tire, you got to get it towed. You in the middle of nowhere. You just leave it there. Something got to happen because you in the middle of nowhere. And then guess what? It breaks down. You get it towed. You got to pay for the tow. And then guess what? You got to get a hotel. Well, we usually sleep in the back of the van. You're not sleeping in the back of the goddamn van. I lock my shop up at 5 o'clock, motherfucker. Sleep in the fucking hotel down the street. They might talk to you like this. God damn it, Terrell. What's your name, Terrell? God damn it, Terrell. I'll look at it. Yeah, I got 5 vans in front of you. I'll look at it Friday. It's Monday. So now you got to either sleep in a hotel or you got to catch a cab to the nearest airport. The nearest airport might be in the town 200 miles away, the nearest city. You got to pay for that. You got to book a flight or find the nearest Amtrak, come back home, and then a week later when he fixes it and gouges the price because he can, and you're Terrell with dreadlocks and they don't see your kind around them pods like that often. And it's a town, and he got to make money because it might not be a good little sweet lick like that come around them parts, no time soon. So he got to make the most of it while he can. Then you got to hop on the Amtrak, come back down there a week, 2 weeks later, whenever he decided he want to get to it. Unless you're going to pay to have it towed all the way back up to Michigan. Yeah, hop back on the Amtrak and go back down there. Then when you get down there, you got to catch a cab 100 miles to the town. This is what running OTR is. When you're out on that open road in the middle of nowhere, you know what you need to have? Money, because anything can happen. And it costs a lot more when these things happen in the middle of nowhere over the road than locally in the metropolitan area of Detroit. So you mean to tell me you're willing to risk your life, because to me, that's what it is. Kentucky, Indiana, all these, Tennessee. Listen, you got to have you some bread. Going through Idaho, all these places, anything can happen. You got to have money, bro. You're in the middle of nowhere. The only thing that can save you is money. There's no one you can call. So $3,800, $2,600, $1,200, then you book a load and you traveling, and then 8 hours out when you're in the middle of America, you get that breakdown. You ain't even got enough money to even get them to tow it to the town. You follow where I'm going with this shit?
Yeah.
So when I say the sacrifice got to be made, you can't afford to pay yourself with $3,800 if you run an OTR. $1,200 is not enough cash flow to run that lane. You have no money. Here's the thing. You got to look at it, too, from this perspective. You traveling across the country with your wife, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not safe, bro. You don't have the money to sustain. I don't recommend it anyway because it's waste of time. But you can't afford to. You're not making enough. So either you're gonna have to lower your cost of living even further, which I don't even think you can lower even $2,600, bro. My mortgage and assessments is more than $2,600. So I don't even think you can lower it any lower than that. I've never heard that before. $2,600 to live. I don't think you can get any lower than that. So I don't see it. Don't look like you be standing on couches.
What's that allude to? Never heard that phrase.
You pop bottles.
Nah.
1942, the Purge. The Purge coming. You don't stand on no couches. You don't pop no bottles or nothing, right?
If it was a party life, then nah.
You ain't no Ocean Prime or none of that on the weekends, right? Nobu.
I don't even.
Detroit got a Nobu, right?
Nope.
No.
See, I don't even know what that is. Listen, I can barely tell you who Elon Musk was. So
what you got on your feet? You got the retros. What you got?
Listen,
you got some B-22s.
Got some Crocs when I was in Oregon. Actually, they weren't even Crocs. It was like some.
So you ain't
what was it, like Merrell or something.
So you ain't got no you ain't got no B-22s. You ain't rocking B-23s, B-22s. Nah. You ain't no Gucci. You ain't got a Gucci belt now. Nah. You ain't walking around tucking your T-shirt in so they can see your Gucci buckle now. You ain't got none of that, right? You ain't spending money on that, right? All right. Well, then so I don't see how much more you can cut costs. I don't see where you can cut at. You don't got no social life. You not standing on couches. You ain't popping bottles. No 1942, right? No Aneo and none of that. Casamigos. You hit the bud.
Nah.
So you ain't got none of them habits. You ain't buying Trey Fives and none of that stuff now, right? You ain't hitting the bud. So you don't have any habits.
Nah.
You don't shoot no dice. You don't shoot no dice. So you don't got no bad habits, and your cost is 26. You ain't splurging in the mall. You ain't doing none of that stuff. So I don't see where you can cut your cost. $950 for rent is very, very cheap. I don't see where you can go any lower than that. You don't have no car note. Your insurance is what it is. It's fair. I don't know what kind of car you have. I didn't ask because you don't have a note, so it's none of my. I don't really care. You don't have to even say you got $250 for your insurance. I don't see where you can cut. To be honest with you, you don't have any habits. You ain't kicking it. I don't know what y'all eating that your cost of living is $2,600. Y'all, I don't know what y'all, because my groceries, and it's just me, and this is ridiculous. So I'm just curious, like, what are y'all eating? What are y'all doing? Y'all, what type of plan or meal plan?
So this you gonna cook a little bit more. So my wife is very particular, and we make sure we do healthy organic food. So we not sacrificing on the health or whatnot.
Well, that's more expensive because that's what I eat.
Yeah,
that's what I eat.
The food budget probably kicks up more, but we try to stay close to that 500. Even when we do go
out, month,
like when we try to stay close to 500. We do actually. We can get pretty close sometimes. We're not like, because the thing is, while we make sure we stay quality, but we're not sitting there just trying to grab everything under the sun. Like we're discretionary with it, so we can get pretty close sometimes. There've been some times where we've gone over, but I don't think it's been anything recent. Like I can go back and look at some statements that we talked about for how much we spent on food, like when we were in Oregon, and we're like, hey. So
all right, so okay, yeah. So 3,800, bro. I don't.
Yeah, it's not working.
That cargo van ain't generating enough income to sustain your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's not generating enough. Like one cargo van is not going to be enough. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll keep it a buck with you. One cargo van ain't going to be enough to take care of a family, bro.
Yeah.
And this is a great case study for people out there. You're a guy who got a very modest living, and it's not one cargo van. Well, I think you operating it wrong. I think you can definitely increase your gross
Uh-huh.
revenue because there's a guy in here that made 31,000 last month in his cargo van, following my methods, listening to me.
Yeah, I
I
heard
think
that
he's
one. He
in
was
it.
doing some
He's
moving,
he's in
right?
the chat. He's in the chat now. Yeah,
Yeah,
he came up here
he did
just
some
like
moves.
you. He came up here just like you did a few months ago. And one thing about him though,
Phone.
he knows business. He runs a successful restaurant, so he understands business.
The phone
But
just turned.
listening from at me who knows this business, he listened to me. He changed his business model around, and now look. The point is, he listened.
Mm.
31,000 in a cargo van. It's people that are running box trucks that's not making that. So what I'm telling you is, it's market. You're in a great market. Lower your costs or increase, make more money. You definitely. I don't see you lowering your costs, but I see the opportunity. Here's the silver lining. Here's the brighter side of things. Now that I got you to kind of understand business, now here's the brighter side of your situation. You can definitely make more money. But a lot of the stuff that you are confused about, as far as the business is concerned, you have to get that shit together, bro.
Okay.
Hey man, you funny, bro. You like real nonchalant, like yeah, all right, okay.
No, look. Again, like don't take the response as what's actually happening. Because again, I'm not trying to like I don't even know how my response would be different
You be in
than
the
what it
I
is.
think I saw you in the
Discord.
Discord, right?
Yeah, yeah. I when you put up the Discord, because like I said, I as much as I don't know, let's just go with me being nonchalant, right? Let's just say I am nonchalant. My whole thing is always being informed, and one of the biggest things, you know, growing up is like I never really had people who could tell me stuff. I had to try and figure out things on my own, and you can, guess how well that goes when I need to figure out everything on my own. If you put the information in front of me, yeah, I can do some stuff, but I got to go find the information, or I'm supposed to have already known this thing, and that's just like that's even on a personal level, like something has been a struggle. So when it comes to something like this, I'm like, all right, let me see, let me know. You're telling me this, all right, let me go look at it. We say I should be doing this way, let me go do that. I'm not the kind of person to be so stuck up in myself that I'm not gonna listen to what somebody's telling me. But at the same time, like I was saying, like I haven't always had that. So it's not like I'm gonna just go back into my repertoire of everything everyone told me back in my life, and I'm gonna just sit here and make everything all, everything's gonna work out because I'm gonna just, lean back on that information. It's all relatively new. So
Okay.
everything you telling me about business, I didn't go to business school, and I probably didn't pay attention to stuff that I should have. But now I'm hearing it from a different perspective. I'm like, all right, take a look at it. And my whole thing, and I guess what's coming off as nonchalant is like, all right, I'm not gonna take this on the chin like, oh, I'm bad. I'm gonna go. Like, I already went through that phase. I already went through the whole being inadequate, not being able to do stuff. Like, all right, so this is what needs to be happening next. Let's go. Let's figure out what that next step is. Let's put this in place. Let's go have these conversations.
Well, I appreciate you coming up here. You know, I like you. I think you're a cool kid, or a cool person rather. I'm sorry, I'm just older than you, so don't take it personal.
Yeah, you cool. You
You
cool.
know, I think you just gotta, business is, I'm just real. And I mean, I know you're new to the channel, but anybody's been watching for a while. Like, I'm a stickler for business plans,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a stickler for understanding costs because how can you ever grow if you don't know what it costs to run your business? You can't. You can't. You have to know what your operational costs are at all times.
Hmm.
If you don't, you're gonna fail. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna be confused like you are. You need to start consuming more business. I'm not faulting you for not knowing these guys, but you need to consume not only information pertaining to your business, but you need to start educating yourself on just business, basic business practices. There's plenty of free lectures and courses that you can take online. Introduction to Business 101, right? You need to start taking some entry level business courses uh, because it's going to make you a much more sharper businessman. All right. If you want to be successful in business, if you want to build a business that pays you enough so that you can fund your lifestyle, fund your living, right? Then you have to run an efficient business, and you always have to make sure that you're continuously finding ways to keep your costs low or lower your costs, and also simultaneously continuously figure out and find ways to increase your revenue. Right?
All right.
Uh, because right now you're just not making enough, bro. You're robbing from the business. I wouldn't run that van over the road anymore. I think every time you run that van over the road, you're taking a loss. You think, listen, you think you're profiting, but you're not. So when I said earlier you're losing and you don't even know it, you said, well, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. You're not running your business the right way, because $3,800, shit, they should you supposed to be late on your rent. Your rent shouldn't have been paid. But I get it, you gotta do what you gotta do, but now the business is suffering. Business has no cash flow. Do you understand what I
All right.
mean now with the sacrifice?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely hear you. I
So
definitely hear you. I'm understanding what you're saying.
so technically you're operating at a loss.
Okay.
You're not making enough money. If it's the business is not making enough money to pay you, there's gotta be a sacrifice. Another way you can sacrifice is not pay yourself, but then you're not gonna be able to pay your living expenses.
Mhm.
You know, so you got any other questions for me?
No, we good for now. We'll come back with an update. Maybe I'll know some better names in the industry.
I don't care about the names, bro, but that's something else
I'm
that you
joking.
need.
I'm joking.
Yeah, that's fine. But
I'm
here's the
joking.
thing. You do need to read some books and you need to get, but that's later on the line. Right now, I think you need to focus on business 101. I think you need to look into common business practice, business 101, understand the different terminology of business, understand different sectors of business, marketing, economics, business finance, business accounting, definitely business accounting 101. Then later on, after you get all that, then you can go down to ethics, business ethics, and stuff like that. But yeah, like
So that's 101 accounting, finance, ethics. There was like a couple other ones you were spouting off, just like stuff to just keep in mind.
business accounting 101.
Yeah, 101 accounting, finance. You had a couple other things before you went to ethics.
Introduction to business. Intro to business. Business economics. Macro and microeconomics. Macro and micro.
All right.
All right, man. This has been
Appreciate it.
fun. This has been fun.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hopefully you don't get a headache like that. That kind of low key.
It's too late, bro. You gave me a
Make it
headache.
go away.
Well, first the person in the chat gave me one, then you gave me one. So, listen, it happens with this episode. Like, and here's the thing. I get, what I understand that people aren't going to know what I know, right? So, what gets me is this whole mentality of just do it.
Okay.
With all the technology that's out there, there's no way, because I feel like you should know, like, okay, I'm gonna start this business. Let me start researching this business. That's just should be innate, or I just should feel my way through it. No, that's not how shit works.
Mm.
Now, you, Mr. College graduate, master's degree, I feel like you should know that.
To an extent. Obviously, I don't have it down pat like I should have, but you know, that's why I'm in the position that I'm in, because clearly there's some things that I should have done, and there are some things that arguably I do okay, and it's about finding that where we're not just doing okay, because you can't be in business okay. You've been in business okay, you be out of business next day. So
Okay is going to only
I get
take you
up.
so far. Okay is only going
Yeah,
to
that's
take
what I'm
you to
saying.
the first huge breakdown and to the first major issue, and then because okay is just getting by, and you're only
Yeah,
getting
and that's
by
what
until you run into your first major issue, and then it's over with.
and that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. We're
Right.
saying the same thing.
So that's why I was really trying to get you, and I took the time and I gave you examples and I gave you scenarios to understand why cash flow is important, especially with what you're doing.
Hmm. And I'm on it. So
There's no reason why you're paying more than the business. And the example that I was going to give you earlier, but I kind of got sidetracked when I was asking the CEOs of those names. Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple. Elon Musk, obviously Tesla, Jeff Bezos. But what I was going to say is, do you think Elon Musk has more money than Tesla?
no,
Do you think Jeff Bezos has more money than Amazon?
no,
Do you think the CEO of Nvidia has more money of Nvidia? Do you think Tim Cook has more money than Apple? You think Bill Gates has more money than Microsoft? Microsoft has the
no.
biggest market cap. You talking about trillions of dollars, like cash, ready to roll. He's rich. He's a billionaire, but he ain't got more money than Microsoft. So when you look at your most successful, your richest people in the world, the companies that they founded, even with the billions of dollars that they make a year,
Hmm.
those companies make way more. Whenever you find yourself paying yourself more than what the business is making, you're doing something wrong. The business has to sustain. Listen, at all costs. Shout out to Crypto Direct. 31K a month in a cargo van. I'm in the shot. I need a van. Yeah, I talked to Costas to tell you how you did it. All right, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
We hope to hear from you in a couple months, man. Maybe a month update
Yeah.
if you're brave
Yeah.
enough to come back.
I'm gonna come back even if I'm taking an L. I'm not gonna hide. So we'll
You
see.
know what?
We'll
You
see.
know, this what I did for the past 2 hours with you. I could charge you a lot of money for that.
Oh yeah, I've been looking into it, and I know exactly the value and worth. There's a
Okay.
reason. Like I respect the knowledge that you have. I respect the experience you have, and even just the business acumen. Like I would consider myself a business person. I would consider myself someone who knows something, but clearly I don't know enough. So I'm not afraid to learn from other people. Like I said, that was one of the things that, like, if I could go back to being a kid, like, I would love to have this. I would love to have, big bro knows this stuff, dad knows this stuff. So having someone who's willing to just spend their free time to grill in stuff that maybe even on a basic level should have already been known by, someone that, I claim to be or whatever, like, it's much appreciated. And there's only so much I can do to appreciate from this end, but thank you.
It's all good, man. I look forward to talking to you in a few months or a few weeks or whatever. All right? Be safe
All right,
out there, man. Make some money, man.
peace.
Don't go over the road. Find local work, all right?
All right.
All right, later. All right, shout out to Big Zoe, man. Long time no see. Big Zoe, I want to have a conversation with you at the end of the summer. You've been real quiet. Been real quiet. I seen you put something in the chat. You've been real quiet. Hopefully you've been quiet because you've been working. Uh 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 uh, let me see. Shout out to 5 Star Logistics, Big Zoe, whoever that was that I was going back and forth with in the chat earlier. No offense. My style of teaching and my style of educating is just my style. Like it or love it, it's effective. It's effective. It's effective. What I've learned is the uh, the basic calm approach, it doesn't get any results. There's a lot of misguided, misinformed people that are getting into business today. They're very lazy. What you got to understand, whoever that was in the chat, and don't take it offense, is there is people that there's a bunch of different people that provide information, right? There's a bunch of people that provide information and it's misinformation, right? And they're providing misinformation for monetary gain. And then you have people that provide information that's good. Now, the people that provide information for monetary gain to enrich themselves off of, I guess coaching and mentorship and things of that nature, more times than not, those people, especially in this space, what I've come to learn is are new in the space. They're not as tenured. And a lot of the information that they provide is incorrect. Right? They're, they want you to buy into them as an individual, as a personality, as an influencer, right? So that they can sell you whatever it is they're trying to sell you. Me, I'm not selling you anything. So I don't need you to buy into me. I have a product. My product is my information. You can take it or you can leave it. I'm providing it to you for free. Now, if you don't like the way I'm giving it to you, then that's your personal problem. Me personally, if I found value in something, if it's something I was looking for and I found value in it, my sole purpose is for the value, because I'm going to take that value and I'm going to profit from it down the line. So I really could care less. I'm here for the value. If I got to be held accountable because I made a mistake just so that I can get value, then that's what I'm going to do. How do you put a price on something? Value is what a person is willing to pay for something, right? I'm not charging you, but this is what you have to go through if you want this information. If you want me to sit down and coach you and mentor you and put you on the right path, right, then there may be a level of accountability. If you went out and you did what wasn't in the best interest for you because you were misguided, you misled, or you consumed the wrong information and you didn't do what was best for you, I'm gonna hold you accountable for that, right? Because I don't want you to make the mistake again. This younger generation, they've been coddled, they've been pacified, and this is why we have the problem that we have. This is why it's cyclical. Every time we do this show, it's cyclical. because a lot of people have been telling people that they can get a business, they're gonna run it up, they're gonna have generational wealth, all this bullshit, and people believe it, and they go out and do what's not best for them. Even he said it. He came in with all the hype. He didn't do none of the shit that I tell people to do, and here we are today. So it's like a war of good versus evil. But the fact of the matter is more people on the other side than it is on this side. So, you know, I don't ask nobody for shit. Nothing. So you just got to take it how it's coming. All right. All right. I guess it'll be another 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks before we do this shit again. I gotta go take some ibuprofen. All right.
Play your mixtape.